BruCast is back, baby.
Alright, hi everyone, welcome back for another BruCast episode number 15. I'm not sure if you noticed, if you're watching through YouTube, again, we are in a brand new studio. Where am I? Who is here? I don't know. We're gonna find out in a minute. So, actually, no, we are in the Netherlands. We are at the city called Den Haag. We came here to visit. I came here to visit a good friend of mine, TheGXO. We're gonna interview him in a second. But before that, we have some announcements. So the first announcement is subscribe. Guys, there's a graph. I checked the graph this weekend. 60% of you who watch this show on YouTube are not subscribed. It makes the whole difference in the world if you subscribe. So if you're watching it right now, if you're a fan of the show, make sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit the 1,000 subscribers mark by the end of the year. And we're getting there. We are getting there. So make sure to subscribe. Our second announcement of the day is it's about the BruCast store. We have a store packed with tons of new t-shirts, mugs, all items tailor-made especially for you. Yes, my listener, I love you guys. I love my fans. So all the products are specially made for you, and you can buy all of them in the BruCast store. So bru-cast.com/store. I repeat, bru-cast.com/store. You will find everything, and for those who are listening, there is a promo code, BRU10SAVE, BRU10SAVE. You can find all links on the description below. Check it out. We put a lot of love and effort into creating those products for you, and it's totally worth it. All right, so our third and last announcement of the day is about the Bru Shorts channel. We now have Bru Shorts channels. We have Bru Shorts channels on TikTok, on where else? On Instagram, on X, on everywhere. I forgot. We have it everywhere. Again, I'm gonna leave the links in the description below. We upload shorts daily. The feedback has been amazing. We put all of those sound effects that the internet love. We create those shorts with the subtitles. It's really fun. And it's always the highlight of the show. So if you don't have time to listen to the whole podcast, just check it out. Bru Shorts. Oh, on YouTube. Yeah, we also have a YouTube channel called Bru Shorts. So Bru Shorts on YouTube, TikTok, X, Instagram. It's everywhere. Check it out. It's amazing. So, one second. As I mentioned, we are here live in the Netherlands, in The Hague, or how you say in Dutch, Den Haag. Anyway, let's bring our guest in. Hert's here with us. How are you doing, Hert?
Hey, everyone. I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Amazing.
Of course. Always fun to have you here, man.
Thank you for receiving me. So that's your house, actually.
This is my house. Yes. The new BruCast kind of setup. So yeah. This is my house, my place. Yeah.
All right. So first of all, thank you very much for accepting being here.
Of course.
You're my best friend, so it's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
True.
For those who do not remember, G, I call him G, was the first guest ever on BruCast episode number 1.
Uno.
Número uno.
Yes. It was really nice to be the first guest from the BruCast, and now I actually watch all the videos, of course, and I really enjoy the show, and yeah, I'm just really glad to be back. And it reminds me the first time that we tried to do the podcast together, and look what we are now, right?
Yeah. Everything changed a lot. So we're watching the first episode earlier today, and it's crazy. We didn't have I didn't have a proper camera. I didn't have a proper mic. I didn't have a proper studio, proper setup. Nothing. An audio interface. And
yeah, man. Look now, man. Look at this. Now you have your own logo. Have everything, man. You have everything.
Yeah. And also thanks to you, because for those who don't know, Hert's helping me a lot. So.
True.
Do you wanna tell what you've been doing?
Well, I do all the shorts, or at least most of the shorts of the BruCast. Yes, I do the video editing, the how to say, the subtitles, some images, animation, like
Yeah, yeah. So we were talking earlier about Brew Shorts. For all of you guys who've been watching and loving Brew Shorts, that was thanks to Hurt. So Hurt's working on them. So
doing my best.
thank you for that, Hurt. So, but for those who haven't watched the first episode yet, do you mind recapping a little bit who you are and?
Oh, of course, yes. I'm the TheGXO, at least. That's my artistic name. But I am a DJ, also a producer, and I live in the Netherlands. Den Haag, I should say, is the best pronunciation. It's the really Dutch pronunciation. And well, lately I'm also busy with the BruCast, so part of the team, I should say. And with the AI, of course, training AI is my latest hobby for now. And of course, I'm also have a YouTube channel, iDevice News. But as you know, it's been a while that I didn't do anything. But I still am working on it.
Yeah. So, so here we are at his home, right? So if you look at the studio that we assembled today, you can see a lot of iPad boxes,
iPhone, this iPhone,
iPhones boxes, and that's because of iDevice News.
Yes. It's still my passion, actually. I really, you know me, like for how many years now?
Many years. So for those who are listening, we're gonna leave the channel from iDevice News on the link in the description below. Make sure to check it out, to check all the best iPhone reviews, iPad reviews, app
unboxing,
reviews, all those kind of stuff. So he's kind of like the MKBHD of the Netherlands, basically. It's like same level.
Well, the problem is I speak everything in Portuguese, so I hope you can understand Portuguese, and otherwise you can add the subtitles, right?
Yeah, so why do you speak Portuguese, and but you're living in the Netherlands?
Well, when I started iDevice News, actually, I saw a lot of YouTubers making all the videos in English.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't saw that in Brazil or Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because in the beginning the iPhone wasn't so accessible in Brazil or in Portugal. It was really accessible only in United States.
Yeah.
The first iPhone or the second iPhone. So I thought, okay, let's try then in Portuguese, because there's a lot of audience that have interest in the iPhone in Brazil, and a lot of Brazilian people doesn't know how to speak English. So that was kind of my shot, and it worked. But now you have a lot of YouTubers that are in Brazil that are really successful, like Loop Infinito or Mac Magazine.
Is Loop Infinito
Loop Infinito is the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And Mac Magazine is the blog.
It's the blog. But so in Mac Magazine there's Rafa. Rafa is I think he's the owner of Mac Magazine. It's like an Apple focused website. It's all about Apple news and iPhone stuff like that. And I think recently he created like a YouTube channel, and he's like releasing videos every week. It's growing a lot. Have you checked it out?
No, I didn't see it. No, I don't think so.
You better work your ass off, man.
I will.
New iDevice, new videos. We need it.
Of course. Well, when I get the new iPhone, for sure, an unboxing, a review, and on the iOS 17 also.
Mm-hmm.
But the content is just take a lot of times, and you know that.
I know.
Yeah, and I don't know. I have my own other priorities. Of course, I can do all the things that I want to do. Otherwise, if I could, I wouldn't even sleep.
You're a busy man.
It's not busy. It's just kind of so many different aspects of things that I like that I just don't do all my focus. That's a kind of a problem. I don't do all my focus in one thing, but I divide it in a lot of kind of things, and that's when it's good. But for the other side, it's really bad, actually.
Yeah. So what can we expect from iPhone 15? Right, the next one is 15, because in my opinion, the last iPhones, they haven't innovated a lot. It's like just small increments. It's not like during Steve Jobs' day that every new iPhone will be like a revolution.
Yeah.
Now it's just like improvements, small improvements. Do you agree with that?
Well, I agree, of course.
Yeah.
But I think it's because back then there's a system like the iOS, and now it's so much integrated with other systems that they have improvements, but the most is software improvements. It's not more about the hardware. It's like the camera actually. The camera didn't change almost at all as the hardware, but it changed in the software. There's a lot of filters and a lot of improvements that they use the AI to improve everything. So it's not only about the hardware anymore, but also the software.
So okay, so you think the software? But come on, the software has always been changing.
Yeah, but back then, now what we have is, if you say that we don't have improvements, okay, let's say a smart bulb, smart light
Smart light, yeah.
on iOS 2 that were any developers that could make that kind of things. So the improvement that happens is via software. There are application that comes that supports the new iPhones but wouldn't support the older ones. You understand? So I think it's more about that. I think, of course, it's important to see an iPhone that changed a lot, like the cameras or the design, but do you need it? And I think that is the real question. Do you need a lot of changings on the iPhone?
It depends. The user never knows what he wants, right? That's again from a quote from Steve Jobs.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot sell something. You cannot present something to the user. How was the quote again? I forgot. The user never know what he wants until you show him.
True. Yeah.
That's the quote. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I want something. I just don't know about it. You know.
I think the small improvements are in the apps. I think at developing of the hardware of the iPhone needs to comply with the software. So I think that is the most important thing nowadays. Now you have the iPhone 11. It's a really new iPhone. Yeah, but okay, let me ask something. What can you do you can't do with your iPhone that an iPhone 14 can?
3D scans.
Do you need it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. New iPhones are just more of the same. When can you expect something? When are we getting the foldable phones? When Apple is releasing foldable iPhones, in your opinion?
No, it will take a while, I think.
How many years? Give us a estimative. 2 years? I think in 2 years we're gonna have a foldable phone from Apple.
5.
5 years? Why?
Let's say how many foldable phones are really, really like good that you see a lot of people saying this phone is crazy, or
Galaxy Fold. It's amazing.
Do you know someone with Galaxy Fold?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, do you know?
I know.
Really?
Sidney Heidi Almeida.
Well, I never use a folded phone, but I don't know. I think that
PewDiePie uses the foldable phone. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think changes are good, but depends on changes. But the thing is, I think most people doesn't like change, and if there is a change, that it needs to be a change that is applicable for all those people.
So that's why you think Apple is not releasing a foldable phone now? It's because most people will not adapt?
No, not that. I think that the VR, that is what Apple is focused on. And the thing with the foldable phones is, I like the iPhone because the iPhone, you just get your iPhone. You don't need to open anything. You just touch the screen, or you don't even touch the screen.
You don't need to.
You don't need to.
It turns on
it
automatically.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So that's why I don't think that Apple is really focused on that. At least not for maybe an iPhone, but maybe for an iPad or something like that would be cool. So like, it's not an iPhone, but it's like a phone that it turns to a tablet. that I think would be better, but I wouldn't think that Apple would replace the iPhone for something like that.
Oh, so what Apple could do is just because they are not a small company. So you said, oh, they're busy with AR, VR. Yeah, they are, but they can also be busy with the car project. They can also be busy with multiple projects at the same time. I don't think they would not be working on a foldable phone, especially seeing how much Samsung is making money out of it. You know, so my bet is that they're testing, prototyping inside like maybe phones, maybe tablets, or as you said.
Yeah.
But they're trying like internally.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I agree. I think there's a patent, right?
Patent,
that they talk about, that they were working on it. But the problem with the patents is you never know if it's gonna happen ever.
Yes. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Apple had this patent of a MacBook with an antenna, 3G antenna that you could just stick out of the screen, and this was like 10 years, 15 years ago. Never happened.
Never happened. No.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen a Mac with that antenna. What the hell?
Okay, so foldable phones at least, or foldable tablets from Apple, you'd say at least 5 years. Yeah. Okay.
I think it would be like a mix with a phone and a tablet. I don't see Apple doing like a really small phone. So a really, really small phone that turns into a size of an iPhone, let's say. I would say that it's a size of an iPhone that turns to a tablet configuration or system. Okay. And it would not be called iPhone or iPad. It would be like a new thing, in your opinion. I would say that, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Would you get one? I'm salivating. I want one right now.
Well, I don't know if it's what I think it's gonna happen, but I see Apple doing that more than just changing the iPhone, just saying the same name iPhone and then foldable. I don't see Apple.
iPhone fold.
I don't see.
No.
I don't see Apple doing that.
Yeah, their marketing team is very. Okay, yeah.
And the problem are the names, right? When they start a project, they don't even have a name of the of the thing.
Gosh, man, the only reason I don't switch to Samsung and Samsung Fold is because of the ecosystem. But if you take the ecosystem away, the Apple ecosystem, like everything works magically. I would say it's basically magically. You have your notes in your Mac, in your iPhone, like. That's why I use Apple. But if it wasn't for the ecosystem, I would have my Samsung Galaxy Fold like right now because it's so goddamn cool. Like the tech behind it.
Yeah, for sure. No, the tech. Yeah,
it's like magic.
Yeah. But that's the thing. What happens? Apple does often is they are just like really low doing things. They watch how it works, how all the companies do, and then after years, they do their own version of it, right? Because I think it's always like this. I think the only thing with Apple on the Steve Jobs era is that he kind of started all of it. Like,
yeah, he's the founder, of course.
No, but
co-founder.
I mean about the iPhone, the first iPhone ever. Before that, there were smartphones, but it wasn't like a success. You know, it was like maybe some people got it. Or you had like the BlackBerry that had like internet on it, and you had like the query keyboard. Do you remember?
I do, yeah.
So that was like before the iPhone. Yes. That was the kind of smartphone of the type of era. But I think that the big thing of the iPhone was the touchscreen. Like as Steve Jobs said, it's 3 products. It's not 3 products. It's just one. Back then, he said it's an iPod, right? It's internet browser, and what was the third one?
A
phone.
A phone.
A phone. Yes. So those 3. Yeah.
Do you think he was an innovator? I heard, that's not my opinion, someone else on YouTube. I think his name is Bill Burr. He's a comedian. Do you know who I'm talking about? No. I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure what his name was. He was saying that his opinion is basically that Steve Jobs was an asshole who just was just stealing everyone's idea. He was just yelling like his ideas, and he would expect them to be done or you're fired. That's basically what he was doing. That was his job. He had this vision, You do it, and if you don't do it, you're fired, and he's gonna yell at you. It just happened. It just happened that his ideas aligned perfectly with what society was craving for at that moment in time. It was just the perfect match, you know. But it doesn't take remove the fact that he was an asshole. He was treating everyone badly and stealing everyone's idea. So again, that's not my opinion. That's someone else's opinion. I'm not quite sure about it, but I wanna know what you think about this take.
Well, I think that Steve Jobs can be, of course, an asshole, but he is a businessman. He was a businessman. A lot of people think he created the systems.
Yeah.
But he didn't really create a system. He created. He had like people who would support him. He was really good as businessman.
Yeah.
So he would like. If you see Steve Jobs presenting iPhone, this is what he did back then when he was trying to make a Mac.
Yeah.
So it's the introduction, I think, is what he does. Introduction, and also the team that he works with.
Mm-hmm.
He started with Wozniaks.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So I think that.
But even back then,
his strategy, of course, is asshole strategy, but I think that's just a lot of people does this because they work in the business and they need to have like strategies where the people that work for them are just doing it right and keeping the focus on it. And if he sees that someone is not doing all the focus that he is trying to do for his whole life, he will just, and there are people that just won't accept it. And I think that was, of course, his problem. It was a problem with him. He couldn't deal with it. And I think that that's the thing, but he was a businessman, and I think that all the business people needs to have a strategy and deal with a lot of other people.
So he was expecting everyone around him to have the same
The
level
same
of
level.
enthusiasm
Yes.
as him.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, I understand that, but there's different ways of approaching it. If you take,
Of
for
course,
example,
yes.
Johnny Ive. I love Johnny. I read his book. I highly recommend it. I really like Johnny Ive, and I think both Jobs and Ive, they're very inspiring people, but in different ways. For example, while I hear stories of Jobs treating all his employees super badly, throwing computers on the ground, yelling all the time, I hear amazing stories of Johnny Ive going to meetings, talking to people, showing them better ways, inspiring them with examples and hard work. So I think they're both, you could call businessmen. Would you call them both businessmen? I think Jobs is more a businessman, right?
Jobs.
But I think there's different ways of approaching how you deal with people.
Yeah. True.
And
True.
they are.
Steve Jobs couldn't deal with people. That's the problem with the Steve Jobs. But it was also a personal problem life, right? You saw the movie, right?
Yes, the movie. Yeah.
So I think that you can say that he is an asshole, but you also need to know the background of course, the person. You don't know what.
You're gonna let people treat you badly just because they had a rough
upbringing? No, of course not. But the thing is, he was huge, and that was the problem of it.
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't huge already back then, in 80s or 90s, he wouldn't grow as a person because of his rudeness. So in the beginning, I think that in the beginning he was dealing better with things, and then he grew a lot, and he had a lot of other problems, and then a lot of stress, and he couldn't deal with it. And I think that that's the problem. But yeah.
With all of that said, I would have loved to meet him.
We'd love to meet that asshole.
Yeah, for sure. I love
motherfucker.
Oh man. Yeah, because if we take all the rudeness aside, let's take all the rudeness, all the mean stories that we all heard about Jobs. He was a guy with a vision and with a clear path, right? And I think that's one of the key things for success.
True.
No matter what you do, if you have a vision, you're gonna get there if if you are persistent, if you are consistent, you're gonna get there. There's this quote, I forgot exactly how it goes, but I'm gonna paraphrase it. It's like a ship without destiny will never reach it will never reach the destiny. So you guys understood it, right? You need a point of arrival, like you need a plan. If you don't have a plan, if you don't have a map, if you don't create a map for yourself, you are not getting there.
Yep.
And Steve Jobs, from what I understand, he had like this clear map, this very, very clear idea where he wanted to go, and he was willing to do everything in the world to get there.
True.
And I think most people, they might have a clear, a vague idea of they want, and that's not enough.
True.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not everyone. Like, I'm not the most consistent person, of course.
I'm not.
Yeah, but that's an example. Okay, I'm not the most consistent person, of course, but I think it's because of interest. The thing is, what if you focus for years in something that you like,
yeah,
but then it comes another interest.
Yes.
Right. It's like food. I think if you get old, you taste a lot of more different foods than if you are really young. Yeah. So there's a more branch of interests of foods that you can choose for. You will not eat like something the same every week. You like to change a little bit. So let's say it's just the same, but with a job, or if it's just an interest. I think that everyone can change, and that is the problem. If you have someone that changes a lot, or have a lot of different interests, and you are like limited in time, you have a problem. Like Steve Jobs, he was busy with business, so he was like a pro in business, of course. But if you want to talk with him about music, how to make music, he wouldn't know, of course, because he didn't spend all his life making music. But if, let's say, at some point he would be still alive, let's say he would be still alive, and he didn't like anymore to work with Apple, what he will do? He can just keep doing a work that he doesn't like, or he can just try another thing. It's like The Rock, right? The Rock was a wrestler. He was like only doing wrestling, and he changed his thing, and now he's actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an actor. He's a good actor. He does good. The same with John Cena, I think. John Cena is also really good. It's really crazy. So I think that the thing is consistency is good, but you need to have like a focus, and if you have different focus on different point of life, you need to be consistent on every change that you do.
Yes.
So yeah, but for sure in the work area, let's say, something to work good, you need to do your best and to put your like you said, Steve Jobs had a vision. He knew the direction that he will go, and that's how you achieve things. So you need to be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like you're going on a road to someone else, and you're just doing like zigzags, and you never come there in the ending path. While you can just, where you go to, you just go to the point.
Yes. Yeah, you need a plan. You need a plan. So Jordan Peterson said that the most successful businessmen in the world are completely unidimensional. What that means, like you said, they have one interest and one interest only. It's their job. And if you ask them about anything else, like race cars or music or exotic places, they just they can't talk about it. They don't understand it. They feel uncomfortable. They don't know what to do. They feel social anxiety. And okay, they might be doing a lot of money, right? They might be very successful at what they do in life, but are they living a fulfilling life? Are they?
You never know.
You need to ask
You
them.
need to ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to ask them.
I think last year or 2 years ago, something like that, I found this chart. I think I showed you the chart. It's a chart on how to live a fulfilling life, which is supposedly simplifies the whole thing. I love those simplifications.
It's not the big five, right?
No. So this is a chart which is it's basically like a circle, and you divide the circle in four. It's like a pizza, right? You divide this pizza in 4 slices. So on the top left you have work. On the top right you have hobbies. On the bottom left you have health. On the bottom right you have relationships. So, and you need to put some X's on each one of those blocks, right? On each one of those slices, and the closer to the center they are, the more fulfilled you are in your life in this domain, and the closer to the rim or the outer edge you are, the less fulfilled you feel in your life in this domain. So for example, I've been working a lot, I feel fulfilled a lot at work, so I'm gonna put the X mark closer to the center, to the pointy part of the pizza. And your goal as a human being is to balance all 4, and as long as you have all 4 balanced, you will live a fulfilling life. And that's a practice that you need to do every day or every week, depending on the person. Like it's just a guide, something to help you live a more fulfilling life. And I think that's very interesting because as we've been talking about, some people, they just maximize and put all of their efforts into work, for example.
No.
Or all of their effort just into hobbies, and they neglect all the other 3 ones. They neglect their personal, interpersonal relationships, or their hobbies, or their health, and it's a sacrifice that they might be committing right now in order to maximize the rewards from whatever they are trying to achieve. But at the end of the line, maybe in 30, 40 years from now, they don't have any friends, they don't have any hobbies, they hate their bodies, and you never lived a fulfilling life. So I think this chart's very helpful. But you never be a Steve Jobs if you take this in consideration. How old was Steve Jobs when he died? He was pretty young, but I'm sure that his lifestyle played a role in his young death. I might be wrong. I'm not a doctor, but it's just an assumption, right?
No, he died with cancer, right?
Okay, cancer. Okay.
Yeah. So I think that was just a big problem. But
Yeah.
I think we don't really know for sure what caused the cancer. He was like a healthy person, right?
I don't know.
I think he was a healthy person. He was a healthy person. He was not obese or something. He ate it well. He looked really.
I heard he was just
healthy.
eating fruits, and
For a time, yeah.
For a
He
time,
was
okay.
almost like a monk. There was Steve Jobs, kind of in the early times. Then he started everything with LSD, right? Actually, yeah, and having visions and doing everything. You saw the movie, yeah. So, but I don't think that. I think that cancer, it was the biggest problem of it, and the causes, we can know for sure.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was his style of life that killed him.
Okay.
Don't think so.
Talking about monks and style of life, do you want to talk a little bit about the book that we have here in the background?
Oh yeah, Think as a Monk. That is from in the Netherlands. It says Think as a Monk. This also in English. Actually, it's from my girlfriend. But no, my girlfriend is not a monk, and she's not becoming a monk. But this book, it helps to know a little bit more about you and how to deal with another people, and how to deal also, of course, with yourself, with your inner soul, let's say, and how you think, and how you, let's say, see the life and the aspect of life, and also opinions of other people, and how to deal with all of that. And a lot of things in life you can just let affect you. You don't have control at anything external. But if something happened in your life, you are the one that are in control of your reaction. And if you are not in control of your reaction, you're not in control of yourself. Because the only thing that you have control is in yourself. For anything else, you don't have any control of it.
Who wrote this book?
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty. Okay.
He has like a YouTube channel where he talks about things. I also follow him, so it's really nice. His ideas and also, how to live like also a fulfilling life.
Yeah.
But it's like in general, it's with everything he talks about with the relationship, in the professional area, with friends, dealing with every small things that happens in life of everyone. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So it's a nice book. I already told you about that book, but you never took a look, right?
No, never.
No?
So he was a monk. So he went
was
to the
kind of a monk. Yeah, he was. I think he was a monk for a couple of years. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then after that, he became like a writer and a really good writer. And now he is, I think, worldwide famous. He has good ideas. His videos are also really nice and really fun also to watch.
Jay Shetty.
Jay Shetty.
If I'm not mistaken, he was working with Will Smith for a while, right? It was like Will Smith counselor, therapist, or personal friend. I don't know what the relationship were, but they had some videos together, right? On YouTube talking about life, about counseling. Do you know?
I don't know this one.
No?
But he also he has also a podcast with a lot of different people. I think he even had with Kim Kardashian.
Wow.
So, but in that video was Will Smith. Was he having a podcast with Will Smith or?
It was like a video on YouTube, and they're just talking about life.
But was it a podcast?
No.
No.
It was like just a video.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I will show you later. This is very interesting.
No, I saw the one a little bit of Kim Kardashian. Yeah, he talked with Kim Kardashian. Yeah, it's crazy.
What is there to talk with
Look
Kim
at the
Kardashian?
relationship. The monk. Yeah,
What is there to talk?
A monk talking with Kim Kardashian.
That's crazy, man. Do you remember anything about it?
No. I just skipped a little bit. No.
You just want to look at Kim.
Kardashian.
The Kardashians. Why they are famous? They're just, I don't get it.
Me neither, actually. But they had like a Big Brother, right? So like a Big Brother, they had the reality show. Yeah.
Oh.
But I think the problem are the young people.
They just go for the looks.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, they are like a family, right? They were like a family living all in the same house, and there's a studio, I think, from MTV. I don't know which channel it was, and they would record it all that they did in daily life.
Really?
Yeah.
It was like the
yeah,
Kardashians was like the
the Kardashians is a show where you see just watch their daily routine with
must
makeup,
suck.
going
So
to parties.
boring.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, the parties looks fun.
But it's just the family.
It's just a family.
I don't know. I don't get it, guys. I'm sorry. If you're a Kardashian fan, please don't hate me. What the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, if there are people that like to and have enjoying watching it, why not?
If you're doing that, just go live your life. I promise you, it's gonna be better.
Oh yeah, we live in a crazy world. Man. I think that also nowadays are just getting really crazy. You know what I'm talking about? About all the things that is happening in the world about LGBT and all that kind of stuff.
I don't want to get into this. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
That's a whole can of worms that I don't want to open right now.
All right.
So before we started the podcast, I actually asked you, G, what is the craziest thing that ever happened to you in your whole life? So how old are you right now? 33?
31.
31. I know you're older than me. So 31. In your 31 years of existence, what is the most insane, inexplicable thing that ever happened to you? You told me, let's talk about it on the podcast.
All right.
Let's do it.
It wasn't really a mystery, but well, I kind of almost died, but not almost died. Someone almost died, and I kind of saved that person.
What?
Yeah, when I was really young.
What?
I was like,
You saved the man?
yeah, I was like 12.
Okay.
Well, when I lived in Brazil, I went like every month to a house nearby the beach. It was like just 1 minute, and then you have like a small beach, and they have like some rocks there with a small pier, and it was a place where it was just in Brazil, nearby Fortaleza, so it's not a lot of people there. So it's Mundau was the name of the city. It was a small city, small
How
beach
was it called
city.
again?
Mundau.
Mundau.
Yeah, really beautiful place. But yeah, I was 12 years old, I think, and I was playing with two friends. One girl, she was I think 10, and there was also a boy of my I think he was 11 and she was 9 or 10 actually. Yeah.
Okay.
And we were playing on the beach, and because she was really young, we asked her to just stay behind in the sand because she couldn't really swim well. And I was playing with just with a ball with him, so playing like a volley.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted also to play, but every time she kept coming close, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, the water just lifted her and she went too far away. And she couldn't swim. But the thing is, she was the ocean, or at least the water, was leading her to the rocks of that pier. And the guy of that, at least my friend, he was younger than me, right? So he couldn't save her. I was the oldest there, and my parents or any adult wasn't there back then because it was nearby the house. But you needed to walk like 1 minute max. And then I needed to save her, so I swam till there where she was, and she was kind of drowning a little bit. She took a lot of water, and I grabbed her to try to lift her up so she could breathe and I could swim in the same time. So doing that, I could take her to the pier where the rocks were. I put it first her on the rocks. She hurt it a little bit actually on her foot, but it wasn't something so dangerous. But when I tried to go into the rocks, it was apparently a sharp rock, really sharp, that I stepped my foot on it, and I think it was like this thick that went in my foot. And when I did that, I just put it out, and I couldn't like move really properly my right foot. I think I don't know anymore which foot it was. But then my idea was I couldn't take the rocks there. I couldn't go up the rocks because of my feet. So I tried to swim to the shore, to the sand, so I could meet her because I already put it on the rocks. And then so this I almost kind of died, but also not. I think she was the person in danger back then. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane. You were 12? 13?
I think I was 13 or 14.
So
yeah, because I moved to the Netherlands when I was 15, so it was a couple of years before that. So I think 14 or 13. Yeah, it was crazy.
So that was your
most crazy thing that
most
I
crazy.
think,
No, but Hollywood, be prepared. We found the lead role for the new Baywatch movie. The new Baywatch 2, The Rock and GXO. The GXO.
Well,
That's insane.
But of course, I needed to save her because I was the oldest there, so it was my responsibility.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my responsibility to bring them back to the place. Of course.
If she died, let's assume that she died. You saw her dying in front of your eyes, like blood everywhere. Why was it? Why was it your responsibility? You're just a kid. You're just a kid playing at the beach, and you saw someone else die. Like,
well, I don't know if you are like 13 or 14, you are a kid, but still you are like more mature, let's say,
yeah.
than a really kid of 9 years old or
yeah,
10 years
yeah,
old.
yeah.
So that was, I think, the most problem.
Well, thank you. Thank you for keeping the beaches safe for all of us, man. Well, that was in Brazil, right?
It was in Brazil.
That's crazy.
Mundalo,
Wow.
yeah.
Mundalo.
And I remember really vivid a lot of things.
You kept
yeah,
contact with her? Do you keep in
for
touch?
many years I did. I still have the
You have her on
Instagram.
Facebook?
Yeah,
Sometimes from time to time sends you a message
Instagram,
like, hey,
Nah,
thanks for saving my life.
I don't know. I don't think we ever talked about it because back then
It's traumatizing.
it's not. It was not traumatizing, of course not, because it didn't have. It didn't have like. She drank a little bit water, but it wasn't in the state that if you saw her that you would say, oh, she drowned or something like that. You know. So it wasn't so bad, but just the adrenaline, or just the thought that could get worse than that. You know, because if I didn't swim there, probably she would have drowned. So I needed to take us really fast action.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So I think it was more about the adrenaline, also the danger, of course. But yeah.
Thanks, bro. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's amazing. You saved a life.
I never talk about this.
Never.
Never. Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I never heard about this before. So you saved someone else's life. That's incredible. Not everyone can say that, you know. I was saved by someone else when I was drawing. Did I ever told you the story?
No.
The first time I came to Germany, I was a kid. I think I was 14. I was with my grandparents and we were visiting one of their friends. He was a German dude. He was a German guy, and we always stayed at his place. It was winter. Me as a kid, I mean 14, but I think teenager. We can say a teenager. I have never seen a little lake frozen. Like in Brazil, I was living in Brazil at the time. There's no such thing as like ice, frozen lakes and snow. So I was mesmerized by it. I was like, wow, maybe I can walk over it, you know? Maybe like in the cartoons where you see them skiing over the frozen ice, I can do it. So while everyone else was like cooking and watching TV, I just went into the backyard. This guy had a frozen lake in his backyard by myself in my pajamas, and just decided to try it out. You know, what can happen? I'm just gonna have some fun walking over the lake. And I just fell into the ice immediately. Like it was frozen, but not
completely.
Not completely.
Yeah.
I just felt immediately, and it was like not a very big lake, but a very deep one. Mm-hmm. So I immediately felt directly to the bottom. I fell to the bottom, and my feet got stuck into the mud. So I was basically stuck under the lake, swallowing water, and just dying. I was dying. Basically the same situation as the girl you saved. For whatever miracle, this German dude, his name is Hartwig Schindler. We called him the German. He heard something. Like, what is the sound? I don't know what's going on. And for whatever miracle, he just came running. He saw me, he noticed, he came running, he yelled to my grandmother, turn on the heat shower. He's dying, Bruno is dying. And he came to my rescue and he saved me. Like, a very similar situation, but if it wasn't for him, I would be dead by now. So thank you. Thank you. Like you're like like a savior. He saved me, so I know how it goes. It's
you understand a little bit.
I understand a little bit, man. I passed through. I went through the situation. I never tell you this.
No.
No.
How old were you?
14, something. Very stupid 14-year-old.
Whoa.
Yeah. But I was dying for real.
Was it cold?
Yeah, it was cold.
Because it was freezing, right?
It was
the
freezing,
water was freezing. Because I think that's another level. If it's freezing, because if you're freezing under the water, there are a lot of things that you can do, because it can you can have some kind of brain freeze. Yeah, where you can bijvoorbeeld swim. Mm-hmm. So you just kind of paralyze because of the shock of the cold water. Yeah. So yeah, that's really crazy. When someone is trying to dive under the ice, the person can do that, but the person needs to have a rope attached to something out of the water.
Yeah.
Because if something happens to that person, the other people can know about it because the person is under the water, but they can pull out the person with the rope.
Yeah.
So it's really dangerous to go just under the ice without any attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a girl that died. They I think there's a video about it. Someone tried to do it for fun, to just immerse in the ice, in the water.
For fun?
For fun, yeah.
Does that for fun?
And she did only like this. She was just diving like this.
Say it for the
but-
audio.
yeah, but
what
she
do you mean
never-
by this?
Just straight. She just tried
Straight
to
down.
straight down. Yeah.
Straight down.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and she never came out apparently, and then her husband or so swam down to trying to look to her, but he was attached with the rope. Yeah.
Where was that?
So that's why it's really, really dangerous to dive into the water without any attachment. And the other thing is, if you can swim
Yeah.
and you go to the surface, how can you find the hole of it? And when they did it, it was at night, and that is even worse, because when you are under the water and you try to find the hole of the ice,
Yeah.
you can't find it. There's no sun to reflect all the light, so for you, if you are under the water, you only see black.
So what's the point of doing it at the night? I mean, if you
Yeah, they're just crazy people. They're
you
just
do it-
crazy people making funs,
Yeah.
and people like think that, oh, I can do it, so I will do it. But and they can for a while with work, but after a while, it can happen, that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
it's one of those thrill-seeking experience, because some people, for example, they do parkours from buildings to buildings. They are like thrill-seeking addicts.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things.
Yeah,
think so?
for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
for sure.
You know who's doing it right? Tom Cruise. He's doing it right.
He's a legend.
Oh man. Talking about Tom Cruise and Top Gun Maverick. This weekend, I mean not this weekend, yesterday on Monday, me and G, we had our first flight lesson. Could we call it like this? We wanna tell about
Well,
it?
it's not it's how do you say? Zweefvliegen.
A glider?
A glider,
Yeah,
a glider,
yeah.
a glider, yeah. We went with a glider, yeah. So it's like airplane, but it's not an airplane, it's a glider, so you can just fly without any propulsion, actually, right? Without
engine, I would
with
say.
any engine, yeah. They just pull you with a car, and then the wind lifts the airplane, and you just go whoop. It's like a roller coaster without the track, right? Yeah.
Yes.
A roller coaster without the track.
That's a good description. Yeah. So roller coaster for the track.
What
no
did you thought about it?
No.
Did you really like?
Okay, so my take on the whole
How
glider
was
thing-
your experience? How
So-
was your experience?
So it was the first time inside of a glider for me, right? And as you mentioned, I think it was a very, very fun experience, because it's like a roller coaster without the
Yeah.
what
The tracks.
the tracks,
Yeah.
yeah. But that's not something that I would do more often. Like once is enough for me. And because I'm trying to avoid. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I almost puke.
In the airplane.
Into there. Oh man, that's insane. So first there's this little long cord that pulls us very, very fast. Like the whole thing lasts 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like a bullet.
Yeah.
It just shoots you straight into the air, and he's like going almost 90 degrees upwards.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like the beginning is insane, and afterwards it's a little bit more calmer, relaxing. You just glide around. You depend on the wind. But this whole shooting at the beginning, it's insane. It's like really like a roller coaster, and man, I almost threw up. and for I don't know next 3 hours I was just my head was just spinning.
But how long was your flight?
That's
Because it depends of the wind of everything, right? And you had really luck of it because I was up there like for what 10 minutes max, I would say, and you're like there for 20 minutes at
Minimum,
least,
at
at least
least,
at
yeah.
least 20 minutes.
and I could have stayed more,
But
but I was throwing up. So, so the guy, "Shut up, let's go." So the thing is, it all depends on the wind.
Yeah.
If there's wind, it's going upwards. You can stay as long as the wind allows it.
Yeah.
It's like a sport. We stayed a little bit longer after we all flown together, and the instructors they were explaining it to us. It's like a sport because you need to prepare in advance. You need to kind of think where you're gonna go. It depends on the clouds. You need to study and understand the different types of clouds and how the wind behaves
Yeah.
under those clouds. So again, it's like a sport, and it's not for everyone.
oh yeah, and also the heat, right? The instructor said also the heat. I think heat is one of the most important thing.
Is it?
Yeah, because all of the heat of the sun will keep the air really thin, and then will be better to fly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed, but I wanted to, be more have more time in the glider. You wanted less time in the glider. Oh, come on, man. Oh.
You can do it again. It's like how much? 60 euros?
65 euros. Per person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do it again?
I would.
Mhm.
Would you pay 65 euros to have a chance to throw up again? That is the real question.
No, I'm good.
No, I didn't feel anything. And the parachute, when we did the parachute, I was the one that threw up.
That's great. So
Crazy.
For those listening, me and G, the GXO, we try to do one extreme adventure every year. So last year we went parachuting for the first time.
The year before, we went to the bungee jump.
We did the bank
The
jump.
bungee jump.
Yeah. So extreme adventures. Which one was your favorite?
Oh, parachute.
Parachuting was the best one for
Yeah.
you. Okay.
Even I almost threw up. Yeah, I would do it again. Even I had to throw up again. Yeah. I really like it. It's just crazy. But I like. What did you like more actually? The free fall, or when the parachute deployed?
It's all different kind of trios. So first there's the trio of anticipation, right?
Yeah.
They are all, I think they are all equally enjoyable. The trio of anticipation, because first you get into the airplane, you need to suit up, you have the instructions, and this whole process lasted like for 1 hour, 2 hours. You need to understand how things work, the different hand signs, what they mean. So we kind of we jumped into this parachuting world like with our heads, that was super interesting. We learned how like the parachute works. We had some like
Training. Yeah.
some training.
Yeah.
This was very, very exciting.
Yeah.
And then getting to the airplane, talking to your instructor how to like how your hands and arms should
And feet and
should stay while you're free falling. All of this was very exciting. And then going up.
Yeah.
So I think after all this training happens, we go into the airplane and we go up for 15-20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
So this whole anticipation.
Yeah, there are small stages, right? It's kind
Small
of stages. And
yes.
in every stage, it gets like more adrenaline and more adrenaline. Even when we came there, we started putting the suits, right?
Yes.
So it's also really nice to put all the suit of the parachute and know how to, how would you say?
Buckle up.
Yeah. So that was really nice. And after that, we saw kind of movies, and they explained everything, like as you said. But the thing is, every time that they did something we needed to react to it, right?
Yes.
So in the airplane, how we needed to sit and how we needed to react when they put it us at the door of the freaking airplane. Oh man. So it was those small stages, and even going in the airplane, just walking. Yeah. Oh man, yes, it was crazy.
I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it.
It was yeah. So yeah, from all of those sports, I think the parachutists were just the most spectacular, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Most intense.
Yeah,
Most
of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
And after that, like after we learn how to prepare for the shoot, is the free falling part, right?
Yeah.
And this lasts for 30 seconds, like the free falling, that you feel they were free falling. You know this I don't know how to describe when you feel your guts just going upwards, the same sensation that you have in the roller coaster.
Yeah.
That's what you get for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
This was like another stage, I would say, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I agree. I think it was a lot of different stages, man.
Yes.
At least I think for me it was even walking through the airplane. It was all something like really nice. Oh, and the other thing that I really liked is in the airplane, you just normally when we take your airplane to go from the Netherlands to Germany, you just go with the point of the airplane, right? You just your direction is through the pilot. But in this case, it was how do you say? In the other backwards, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really strange for me. I don't know for you, but for me it was really.
Were we
really
sitting backwards inside
we
of the
were
plane?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember that.
So when you saw the plane lifting up, you would see the ground.
You can't look down, G. Can't look down.
So but that was a thing that I didn't anticipate it until we were in the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really strange feeling, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a car where you're not looking to the road, but you're looking behind of the road.
Yeah.
Would be something like this.
It was cool.
But then flying, which is worse.
Wow, man, the view is incredible. I still have it like burn into my eyes. Like the view, it's so beautiful.
Oh, all those sports, the people can say is the adrenaline, of course, but a lot of time is the view.
It's the view.
It's just an amazing view that without doing it, you can have that experience. Maybe with a drone or something like that.
No, not even with a drone.
No, not even. You can just watch it, the view, but you don't have the same experience. Like the free falling, it was crazy because when I free fall, it was like my skull was on here and all the blood were going there, the skull.
Oh, your skull, okay.
Yeah. You have like kind of a pressure of going down, right?
Yeah.
Your whole body is like, I don't know, you feel that your whole body is going through it, but also your stomach, everything is going backwards. It was a really strange feeling. At least for me, it was a really strange feeling.
Did you see this old lady? I think she was like 70 or 80. She did it for the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
There? Yeah.
Not there. Like we went. So the place that we went here in it was in the Netherlands. I think she's from the US.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh no, I wanna die without regrets." And she was like 70 years old. She did it, and she said she had fun.
Ooh,
So
nice.
there's no age, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, you have to watch for your heart, of course, because if you have a heart problem, you are really anxious about it, then you maybe can have a problem of a heart attack, right? There's that guy that watched the Marvel movie in the cinema and he had a heart attack. Do you
What?
remember? Yeah.
He died at a Marvel movie?
I think it was
Endgame?
a Marvel. I don't know which one it was. I think it was Infinity War. It wasn't even Endgame.
Imagine Captain Marvel. Imagine dying at Captain Marvel.
Oh no.
What's your favorite Marvel movie? Don't say Endgame. Besides Endgame.
No, Endgame doesn't count.
Doesn't
right?
count. Of
doesn't
course, it's the
count.
best. So
I think the first Iron Man.
the first Iron Man.
Yeah. And for you?
I'm torn between Doctor Strange and No Way Home. One of the Spider-Man. I love the Spider-Man trilogy.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness.
First one, man.
Of course, it's the first
Multiverse
one.
of Madness, it's fun, but it's not as good as it could have been.
True.
That's the problem that I have with new Marvel. How do you say generation? It's not generation. Series. Phase.
Right? Yeah.
Well, that's the problem that I have with the latest Marvel Phase 4, is that it's good, but not as good as it could have been because they have multiverse, they have time travel, they have all those superheroes, they have all those cards in their hands. They can create amazing, incredible, unforgettable stories and new pieces of entertainment that will last for generations, but it's just not there, you know. The writers, I don't know what's going on. I know there's some writers strikes going on.
True.
But with all of this potential, all those cards in their hands, it's just for whatever reason it's not getting there. I know it's hard to beat Endgame, but I don't think it's impossible to do something original and interesting for all of those heroes and all of those possibilities, right? Would you agree?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Endgame, we can compare Endgame because Endgame is like all the movies like together because they share like connection. So I think Endgame as a movie, you can't watch Endgame without any context of what is happening. Yeah, that's why I think Endgame, it was a good movie. It was incredible movie, but it's the connection that made that important. But I think that they have the cards in their hands, of course. But I don't know if they have like I don't know, maybe a good plan, because the thing is they had to buy first a lot of companies. So I think that the ideas, they never had the ideas because first there are a lot of contracts, a lot of things that are happening that they don't know for sure if it's going to happen or not. And I think it takes a lot of time, of course, to make a movie, to project things. And you know, Kevin Feige, he is like the boss. But I don't know, I don't think that Kevin Feige is the one that really decided everything, and everything can work together. I think Marvel have the card in their hands, but they are just, I think they don't have really a plan. I think what they are doing is trying to do their best to just end this saga, let's say, to start a new one. So I think that what is gonna happen is they're gonna close every chapter that we have. So on Deadpool that's upcoming is gonna be the last time that we will see the old Marvel characters. So the same I think is gonna be on Secret Wars. So they can introduce new superheroes or new stories.
What do you mean they don't have a plan? That's why Kevin Feige is there for. He's Papa Feige. He's
Papa Feige.
Papa Feige. His whole purpose at Marvel, the way I understand it, is to have a plan for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, isn't it?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, it works like this. But before, like, let's say 5 years ago,
yeah,
you can't make like a solo Hulk movie. Let's say. Okay.
Solo what?
Solo Hulk movie. The Hulk.
Oh, the Hulk.
The Hulk,
Yeah, the Hulk.
yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Because of the contracts that happened back there, and a lot of other things like the X-Men. And then the second option is, how will they introduce a new X-Men in the universe where they already are? It's almost like a reboot. It would be like almost the same, because they are not gonna keep Hugh Jackman for the whole life. They need new generation of people. They need new kind of stories. And I think that we are at a level at Marvel that there are people that have time travel, that can go to another dimensions, you know. So how far will they go? You know, it's getting more and more complex. And I think that a good option will be a soft reboot, so they can make a history where everything can connect between the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, and like a little bit like the comics, of course, but changing in Kevin Feige's mind, because they never use the same stories, right? In the comics and in the movies, they always adapt, they always change, because if you know precisely what's gonna happen because of the comics, you won't watch the movie. So they make a lot of changes. So I think that that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna just maybe make a soft reboot. Why not? The thing is, why not?
I think that just sounds lazy. Lazy as fuck. Again, they can do anything and they have all the superheroes in the universe. They just bought X-Men. Ooh, they literally can create the most exciting and thrilling stories ever told in cinema of superheroes.
Yeah, but why?
Let's soft reboot it. Why? It's just lazy. Like as an spectator, like as a moviegoer enthusiast, it just sounds lazy. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it sounds like.
Wouldn't you say that it takes more effort and more work to reboot and try to make really better stories than what already happened?
Why it's not possible to make better stories right now?
Because there are a lot of things that wouldn't even connect, like the year of Fantastic Four. Let's say now we have years in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that are like in 2025 or so, or 2026 already.
Really? Which were given?
I think in the actual
the
current time of the Marvel Universe. The latest one, it was Secret Invasion.
So Secret Invasion takes place in 2025. Okay.
Of 26. I don't know for sure. So that is a problem. Can be, cannot. But I think that a fresh start with a new year and I don't know, more integrated with other like the X-Men or the Fantastic Four would be better than just keep the Marvel Universe as the Iron Man is dead and then bring all the X-Men. I don't know. I think a soft reboot can be good. Could be. I think they can make great stories, crazy stories, like comics accurate. Yeah, in the connection with X-Men and Fantastic Four or Spider-Man and Deadpool, and that would be better to do, I think, with a soft reboot. But as you said, they need to have good writers, right?
What is this word like soft reboot? What's the difference between a reboot and a soft reboot?
A soft reboot, it means that they are not gonna deny the existence of the original version, let's say. So they can exist parallel.
Simultaneously.
Yes, simultaneously.
Yeah, okay.
So if you see like the DC universe right now is a soft reboot. Because they don't really forget the other universe. There are a lot of universes, so they can do everything. If they want to show a story of only one universe, like what happened with Marvel until now, it was just only one universe. Yeah. But they can make like crazy stories about all the universes. Yeah, of creating a new universe, like the soft reboot, where you can still remember old characters, yeah, but it's just another universe or a rebooted universe.
Here's an idea for a soft reboot for Marvel. What if they just Doctor Strange cast a spell, whatever, and just a couple of characters go into a different universe. They travel through the multiverse and they happen to fall in a different universe, and that's a soft reboot. Whatever happens in the universe that we watched, the Infinity Saga, it happened, it existed, but in this universe that we left behind, Doctor Strange and maybe Peter Parker and whatever, a couple of characters, the new Fantastic Four, they all fall into this universe, and that's the soft reboot. Do you think that will be? And in this universe, there's the X-Men.
But it's like Doctor Strange is like created this new universe.
No, it was already there because
it was already there. But what would be the connection between Doctor Strange and those other universes?
I just think Doctor Strange is one of the most powerful.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So if there's one who could bring a couple of characters to a new universe, it's Doctor Strange.
Would be Doctor Strange.
Yeah, because Wanda, as far as we know, she's dead.
Yeah. As far as you know, we don't know. What do you think about it? Do you think she's gonna return? Do you want her to return? That's the question. Do we want Wanda Maximoff back?
I hope she's dead because her death was very impactful on me. And if she's not dead, the whole Multiverse of Madness movie was kind of,
Fair enough.
you know, if you keep bringing characters who are dead back to life, you lift off the weight from their death.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Imagine after everything that happened on Endgame, they bring Robert Downey Jr. back in the next movie. Like it takes off all the weight that.
Or Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just their death starts to become irrelevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want characters to die in a meaningful way because that's brings weight and meaning to the story. Their death is more meaningful. That you understand what I mean?
Yeah. But do you think that her death was meaningful? Because I thought it was a little bit, I don't know, a little bit wacky, I would say.
She deserved. She died. She was a bitch.
Yeah, but I expected more.
What kind? Okay.
I don't know. That's why I think the most people are like, is she alive? Is she dead? Because it looks like she's dead, right? But there are rumors that she's gonna be back in Deadpool 3. But it's gonna be a Wanda Maximoff of another universe. Yeah.
Maybe she's the one who's gonna initiate the soft reboot.
Can be.
Peppa Feige, hire me.
Can be. I don't know, but as you said, I don't want to see Wanda Maximoff back. I think, as you said, it's just a closed chapter, right? It looked like a closed chapter.
It does for sure.
Yeah.
Talking about creating new worlds, let's talk about AI for a second. At the beginning of the broadcast, you mentioned, you shared with us that you're really into AI at the moment.
Yeah.
What is this all about?
Oh, so with, of course, Midjourney, we work with Midjourney. So
for those who do not know what Midjourney is.
You are the Midjourney master.
Okay. So for those who don't know, Midjourney is like an AI tool that allows you to create images with words or prompts, as we call it, and you can just basically type anything and you're gonna get incredible images. Of course, it's like a tool and you need to learn about it, and the more you understand how the prompts work, the better the quality of the images you can create. But basically you can create anything with any type of style. You guys probably know what AI art is at this point. But Midjourney is one of those tools that is one of the most famous ones. You can also blend images. You can take, for example, the image of a dog and a giraffe and just put it into Midjourney, and it blends into a new giraffe dog or something like that. So it's a very powerful tool. So that's what Midjourney is all about, and it's taking a lot of headlines in the art world. Is a lot of it's like taking a lot of jobs as well, I would say, depending on the company that you are working in. A lot of artists are afraid of losing their jobs as concept artists in the video game industry, in the movie industry, because all of those huge IPs and huge movies that we've been talking about, huge games, they require some prep work. And during this prep work, the artists create how the movie or the game will look like in the future, and Midjourney and concept artists, they are very useful at this stage. And the thing is, Midjourney and new AI art tools are so powerful that you can create like very realistic and convincing images in minutes if you're good at Midjourney, and it doesn't take a lot of time to be good at it. So I would say that's the current landscape at the moment, and within this landscape there are several AI art tools, and one of them is Midjourney, another one is
Stable Diffusion.
Diffusion, yes.
Yeah, so I use Stable Diffusion. It works like the same. You have like a prompt where you type something and it generates like an image. But if you compare with Midjourney, it's a little bit more complex, but their systems are not so precisely as Midjourney. Midjourney can like make really precise things because they have really good models in their server. So it's all about the models that they have and they update. And with Stable Diffusion, you can create your own models. You can download your own models. and you can even size the image how you want to. So it's really, really specific. But the problem is that you need to have a really good computer, or at least a really good graphics card. And with Midjourney, you don't have to, because everything is on their server. So I think there are two different AI tools, of course, but it depends what you have. If you have like a computer and use Midjourney, it doesn't matter even if you have a computer. You can even do it on your cell phone. So that's the problem with the Stable Diffusion. It's really complex. It's really like techniques. I think
Technical?
really technical. Yeah. So I think that's the difference. So I am learning still about it, because with Midjourney I also tried Midjourney, of course, and there are a lot of good options on Midjourney. But on Stable Diffusion there's a lot more options. But if you mess around, you can just create. You just can't create any good art with it. So it takes a time of the training and with the skills. And I try actually to convert, like I you saw, right, the videos, couple of dancing videos to AI dancing videos.
So that's the thing with Stable Diffusion as well. You can create AI videos, right?
Well, kind of.
Kind of. Okay.
You create from a video works on every frame is a different image. So what you do, you create a batch where you can apply all the properties that you put on the prompt for all the frames or the video, and then you can actually create a video with Stable Diffusion. But Stable Diffusion still works with images. So if you have like a video, you still have to extract all the frames and work with a batch with all the frames add there, and then create all the frames back as an AI, and then import the original audio of the video. You know the process. So this whole process needs to be done, and so that's why it's testing. And you have like some apps, kind of good apps that make that, but it's the same. It's in a server, so you don't have control in anything. All you can do is just throw your video, select the kind of art that you want, and then that's it. You can't change like a lot of things. And with Stable Diffusion is more precisely. And a lot of apps uses Stable Diffusions and they sell for a plan. Like it's crazy.
Yes, because Stable Diffusion is like the framework. And other apps, they just use this framework, and they create like a nice interface, a different interface on top of it, and they sell it as a new AI art tool. So
but they are not selling the AI program or app. They are selling their services. So their servers, how fast the server are. Because if you have Stable Diffusion, you need to have a really good graphics card. So they are not paying for the program, they are paying for the servers, and the servers they are the one that make the rules, right? So that is how it works. And with Stable Diffusion, you kind of set your own rules.
Because so the difference between Stable Diffusion and other AI art tools is Stable Diffusion is using your local machine as a computing as the computer process. Yes. And Midjourney and those other ones, they're using the cloud. Like,
they have their own servers with really good, powerful computers, and that's I think that's the biggest difference. They are paying for the service and not really for the technology.
I think one of the main key differences as well is that Stable Diffusion is free.
Oh yeah, it's kind of open source.
Open source,
Actually, Stable Diffusions could work only with the CMDs, make with Python, I think, the language. So you just can use your browser. I use Google Chrome to make the generations.
That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah.
What is the craziest thing that you've ever done with Stable Diffusion? Yesterday, we were playing with it a little bit, and we did like a short video of me saying, "Hey." What did he say again? What's up, bitch?
Mr. White.
Yo, Mr. White. And
Breaking Bad.
And then we used this short videos like 1 second long, and we created like a version where I'm just Pikmin, another one where I am Pikachu, another one that I am Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it was so much fun, and it's so entertaining.
Yeah, but you saw it wasn't really consistent, right?
No.
So it's really difficult to find the right spot to make a consistent video. So that's why I'm every day training a little bit,
Yeah.
so I can have some maybe skills and construct something with videos.
Yeah.
So as a DJ, I would like to have some work with AI, mixing the video of mixtapes, of me playing as DJ, of whatever. Even skydiving or whatever would be nice to have kind of frames making in AI videos. So yeah, that's why I'm in training with Stable Diffusion. I think the Stable Diffusion will be the best, because making videos, you can't make videos with like Midjourney, or you can't make video with a lot of other apps. You can make it, but it's just gonna be frame by frame. And to do that, you need to have a good computer to extract all the frames.
Yes.
It's not only a process of AI, but also of all the single frames that you need to import it, right?
How good your graphic card needs to be in order to be able to enjoy creating videos with Stable Diffusion, in your opinion?
Sorry, what was your question?
How good your computer or graphic card needs to be in order to have fun creating short videos with Stable Diffusion?
Oh, the most important thing is the graphic size. You need to have at least RTX 2000, I think.
2000, okay.
Yeah. So this one was released, I think, 2 years ago. So any computer that is older than 3 years ago can't handle Stable Diffusion.
Okay.
Now we are in the series 4000, I think. Yeah, 4000, series 4000. And I have the 3070s. And even though I would like to upgrade my graphics card, yeah, it just takes a lot. It's just, if you play The Last of Us on the PC, that requires a lot of graphics card. Stable Diffusion it's just another level. It takes the whole 100% of the graphics card. Doesn't matter what you're working with. Yeah.
So just take as much as it can.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So if you have like a really bad graphics card, let's say 2050, I think it's the lowest graphics card that you could run Stable Diffusion. You can do it, but the process is gonna be so low, so yeah, man. You saw the speed. We had like a video of 5 seconds, and to render, to make the video, it would take, I don't know, 15 minutes for 5 seconds.
Yeah, but so let's say you have a less powerful graphic card. You can still do it. It's just gonna take longer.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It can take longer.
And how different are those AI videos from face swap, or how it's called again, deepfake? Because we put Neil deGrasse Tyson on top of my face. Isn't that deepfake?
Yeah, but it is. Actually, I think that deepfake, you can do deepfake with Stable Diffusion. It was made for deepfake. Stable Diffusion exists already a couple of years, but they can always add plugins and add stuff that now is possible to make videos.
All right. Okay.
So Stable Diffusion is not a program that starts just like that and stays all the time. It evolves. And it started actually with deepfake. I think like 2 years ago, when started the deepfake things, I saw things about Stable Diffusion, and I wanted to try it out, but it was so complicated.
It sure is.
Yeah, because so to do the deepfake, you need to train the faces. Yeah. So you need to have like, okay, the person is looking serious, or the person is smiling, and those aspects they need to also put in the new face that you want to replace. And that's what Stable Diffusion often does. And now is with the poses, right? So now you have, we see a lot of videos of dancing AI videos. That's precisely the same. They are copying the pose of the person, and the deepfake is the same. They are copying the place of the eyes, of the mouth, of the face, and replacing to another thing. So it's the same. So you're right. Yeah, deepfake and those AI videos is just the same idea, and also they make us the same models and the same trainings. They need to train kind of poses. They need to train kind of looks. So if the person is looking down, or looking to the right, or looking to the left. And if you see like a person happy and you need to replace that person to another person that is happy, it's just the same. It's gonna trace all the characteristic and gonna replace with the characteristic of the other person.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. I really need a short toilet break.
All right.
We're gonna be back in 1 second, everyone. So, 1 minute, please. 1 second. 1 second. All right, we're back. Hi everyone. Before short toilet break, we're talking about deepfake and AI.
Yeah.
One question that I have for you. So, Stable Diffusion can also perform deepfake.
Yeah.
So, what deepfake software? Do you know any deepfake software?
Well, the deepfake actually it depends. You need to train first the
Okay.
faces that you want to use.
Not with Stable Diffusion. Don't train anything with Stable Diffusion.
If you want to do your own deepfake, so if you want to replace your face
Yes.
to another face, you would need to train your face. So you just actually, it works like this. Even you can type Bruno Roses, smiling, you can create yourself. But then you need to upload a couple of, train a couple of frames of you. So you're laughing or you're sad, and then you need to write the prompt to that frame. So every time that you write Bruno is happy, it will use the frame that you chose to be happy, and it will copy to the new face. But you need to train. So with the Stable Diffusion, you have like different models where you can download on Sentient AI, for example.
Yeah.
And you can download models like any kind of models, but also famous people. So if you want to deepfake someone to Neil deGrasse Tyson, you would, if you want to have a really precise deepfake, you will need to download a model of Neil deGrasse Tyson. You understand? So yeah. So I think that when you are trying to create your own deepfake, it can be challenging.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of time of training, because you need to type everything, you need to process everything. So it saves as a model file. So every frame that you put it, every prompt that you put it, it's gonna be in just one file. You understand? And that one file you can download on a lot of websites, and there are really good ones that they add a lot of artists. They're like a merge of a lot of famous people. Yeah. So
merge?
yeah.
They merge different people's faces.
No. They merge all the famous people in one model point, so you don't have to download the model for Neil deGrasse Tyson of the
so
model
it's like
of
a package.
Yeah, it's like a package. Yeah,
Okay.
I would say a package, but it's just one file with all the models.
Have you been trying it? Did you try it?
Yeah.
What did you do it for? Because it's kind of I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of creepy. It creeps me out.
Yeah, but they are making like dancing with, like, you saw it with famous people dancing
videos,
yeah.
but you can easily do porn with it, right? Well, why? So that's the thing. Why would someone use deepfake if not to, to create porn or to misguide someone else? We did it with Neil deGrasse Tyson just for fun, but it was like one time occasion.
Yeah.
I'm not intending to do it again, or for any other reason, if not just once for fun. Like, people who do that, what are the intended
yeah, but I think it's the same thing of working with photos. You can just go to Instagram and download a photo, something, and now you can just use also AI to change the photo, right? Only aspect of photo.
Okay.
And yeah, that's kind of bad, but can be good. It's like a tool, and I think the problem are just the people that use for it. But the problem with Stable Diffusion and the other service, most other servers are friendly, family friendly, I would say. You can't create explicit things, or you can't use faces of other people. So that's why the Sentient AI, everything is free, because they can't charge for money for using faces of other people.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with Stable Diffusion. Stable Diffusion is, I think, open source. I think it's open source. So you start with GitHub, right? And you can create everything. But that for sure is a problem. But that's the basis of the models of the AI. Is the same with any art. If you want to recreate an art that is like Pixar, they are gonna use models that they put properties of frames of movie of pictures, and they create something. It's the same, and that's how deepfake also works. It's the same level. Yeah, it's the same thing, I think.
Yeah. Man, that's insane how this technology has been evolving so fast. Like, I think 5 years ago there was none of this. None of this. I might be mistaken, but I don't recall. Like, We're in 2023, 2019, 18. I don't. 2018. Do you remember hearing about this? I don't think it was a thing.
No.
It's so fast. Do you see this not Tom Cruise Instagram page? It's not Tom Cruise. It's
Yes,
a guy.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
He's like impersonating, not impersonating. I don't know what the correct term would be. Like acting as or playing Tom Cruise, but he has like the similar body build. He's a similar body build, similar as Tom Cruise, but in his face. But it's not his face. He swapped his face to Tom Cruise's face, and he's doing like those funny shorts, pretending to be Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's crazy. But also, I think he also trained a lot of pictures of Tom Cruise, so he needed to watch a lot of movie of Tom Cruise because he needed to train Tom Cruise. It works better if you train all the frames that you can have of someone making different kind of expressions, because when you do it in real life before the camera, the same expression is going to replace.
Yeah.
You know? So for sure he wanted to watch I think a lot of movie of Tom Cruise with a lot of positions and a lot of different lightnings and yeah.
How many faces do you think you need to train?
It doesn't matter how,
is there
more,
a number?
more better.
The more the more the better.
Yeah. More you have, the more stable is gonna be the image or the video.
Do you think like 1,000? There's a max limit that you can use, or can
No, I don't know. I actually don't know because I never trained a face before. So
okay.
yeah, I only use the models that I downloaded from Sentient AI, and then I play a little bit with it and try to change a couple of videos. I did one of you, right?
What?
Yeah, that one. You're playing guitar.
Oh.
Yes,
but that was not a deep fake.
It's not
It's not a deep fake.
But as I said, it's just the same kind of level.
So G actually took a video from my Instagram where I'm playing the guitar, and he used Stable Diffusion to transform the whole clip into an anime. Yeah, it's impressive. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's the same. It's also kind of a face swap. If I would type
style swap.
Yeah. If I would type Elon Musk playing guitar and not anime style, it would change you to Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But that's because the AI, the model that I downloaded, they have trained Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So now everything is a package. If you see all the package that they have in Sentient AI, the realism packages that they have, it's like a really picture, and with anything, with like a sand or like water, it's really crazy. But they need also to train all of that. They need to make a lot of photo of rocks and a lot of photo of liquids, of water, to then so they can produce, if you type a prompt, to replace all the things into the picture.
Yeah.
So if you put rock playing guitar, it will replace you with rocks.
All right.
So it's the same. It's like a face swap.
But in this case, oh man, it's intense. But in this case, you're feeding the AI an existing video, right? What about all of those other videos that I saw on the internet, like AI creates Will Smith eating spaghetti? Have you seen this one?
Oh yeah.
It's like nightmare field. Well, and I think in this case, there's no original video. It's entirely made by AI. Is that the case?
I don't know if it's entirely made by AI. You still need to have prompts. You still need to guide the AI. You need to give an action to the AI, and that action is what determines the result of it. So people can say, "Oh, the AI made it."
Yeah.
But it's not only the AI; it's also the artist that gives the prompt to the AI. Yeah. So the AI can't create idea of nothing. It needs us humans to give the option so the AI can make it. So yeah, but that one of Will Smith was Will Smith.
The one that I saw was Will Smith eating spaghetti, and it looks
Yeah, I know which
nightmarish.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was made because it was a new kind of system, a new plugin for Stable Diffusion that they could change also the background. You have also other videos. You have different kind of videos of AI. You have some kind of videos that merge the background with the person that is it. They are realistic AI's prompt. So if is someone dancing, it just replicate the same background and the same clothes. But have also AIs that change a lot. So in every 2 seconds, it changed from Will Smith to Elon Musk. You know, so that one of Will Smith it was a new kind of plugin technology that they are trying out, and there's also a lot of other ones. They're really disturbing, but it's because it's really new. It's actually really new. There's someone that created a system to make crazy stuff like this. 1 year ago, you couldn't do this with AI.
Yeah.
So someone make a plugin that make the AI kind of smart to change a lot of things and make really crazy.
Yeah, it needs to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's always clunky, but that's just the beginning. It's similar to what is the name of this company with the robots again? It's not Cambridge Analytica. Cambridge Analytica is something else from Facebook and all, but you know the robots that I'm talking about? Boston Dynamics. There we go. It's the same with Boston Dynamics. If you look at the earlier robots from Boston Dynamics, they're all clunky and they are always falling. Yeah, all the time.
They are like drunk robots, right?
robots.
Drunk robots. I would say that's the perfect match.
Yeah, but then you saw the video from last year. They're like dancing. And jumping and they like with those human-like behaviors and going from that to stabbing you, it's like they can do that in just like, man, it's so dystopian.
It is.
But it's like you cannot look away. So I don't know why it's mesmerizing, but in a creepy way, because you're seeing it's like watching the downfall of humanity now. In my opinion, like. Those robots, they're getting too smart. What the fuck? What's next? They're gonna drive me to work? They're getting my mail they're doing my job for me? Like, next thing, like I'm human waste. Like, they're just gonna replace us.
They can. I think they can replace it, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
I'm not so sure. But have you seen Terminator?
Yeah, but the thing with all those things that we created, we give them a limit. You know, it's like the AI. I can have stable diffusion on my computer, but the AI won't make anything if I don't react to it. So I think it's gonna have a limit. It's not because the robot have a strength more than a human that he has the capacity of hurting a human. You understand? So they can easily change that. They can just make a robot that won't affect people because of their strange behavior. Yeah. So an AI, I don't see an AI killing another people because they need to have an idea to kill another people. They won't do it just for fun or because they saw some TV program. They have limits. They have limits of memory. They have limits of sensation and of feelings. So it's just stable diffusion. If you give a prompt, they will do it, and that's it. So that's actually my personal opinion, of course. I know that's really fun to see in movies because they have the strength of it, but I think that's it. I think they can't hurt us if we don't give them a purpose to hurt us.
But if you're talking about limits, if you need to limit them, it means that they can literally go beyond that. And if there's any type of malfunction, they will go beyond that because mistakes happen, accidents happen. There are bugs in any kind of software. What prevents one of those robots from the thousands that are going to be produced in the future to have one bug, and this bug just happens to remove one of the restraints. Bam, someone's killed. And bam, the robot realizes that he's more powerful than humans. And then he starts to programming the other robot,
Yeah,
it
but that's
can very easily get out of hand.
but that's the thing. How can he realize that he is more stronger than a human?
Because they're gonna have conscious. They are already semi-conscious.
No.
Like ChatGPT. It's like it feels like.
It feels like, but they are not. I think consciousness is more complex than that. There's a difference between being conscious and having control of a language. Yeah. Can you work with ChatGPT without a language?
You need to.
Without communication? You can't. But you can have an interaction with a dog that doesn't speak anything. And the dog is conscious, They have own experience, and the chat and the AI only have experience if you interact with them, because it's a function. They are like, they are a system that are ready for us when we use them, So it's like for like the robots from aerodynamics, they will only do things if you give a command to them to do it, because they can't take their own action. To do that, you need to have your consciousness, So it's different. You can interact with another human being without any language, and all those systems as AI, they are based on a language.
Isn't the whole universe like that? What I mean is, if we take what we know from quantum physics, the universe is just there when you're interacting with it. If you're not, it's not there. It's like the cat in the, how it's called again?
The Schrödinger's cat, right?
Schrödinger's cat. So that's what you said about AI. It has no conscious if you're not interacting with it.
Yeah.
But that's the exact nature of our universe. The universe is literally not there if you're not interacting with it. So where's the line? My question now is, when does an artificial intelligence becomes conscious, develops consciousness?
I think they have to need sensations. Yeah, they need to have feelings of feel. ChatGPT don't have. He has communication. He can speak as he has feelings, because they give prompts and they give commands that simulates feelings. So it's a difference. So ChatGPT can't feel. He can explain a lot of things that you're like, whoa, it's true. How does a machine does that? But it's because he was trained to say those kind of things, just really complex, because it connects all the words together, and they can make like really complex sentences and complex ideas. But it's because of the knowledge of the language.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say English or Portuguese. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you'd say that in order to develop conscious, you need to feel emotions. If you don't feel the touch, pain, happiness, you're not a conscious being.
I would say that this is the first step.
The first step, okay.
I think there are a lot of more things that are. Memory is also a good example. Like if you have someone that has amnesia every day, how is this person is gonna live? Can't. Just kind of can't if you forget everything. And the thing is, the AI is not a process of remembering. It's a matter of accessing it. Yeah. So that's the thing. If you have ChatGPT, there's a whole data that are there, but the AI will only do it if you give them something to do it. You understand?
Yeah. So you need like an input.
An input, yeah. With consciousness, you don't need that. You can like try to make. I think it's all my personal opinion, of course.
Of course.
I'm not expert, but to make like a robot that have really feelings and sensations, it would be really difficult because human beings are made of problems and defects.
Mhm.
Yeah, our memory is not like a machine. Also, to access a memory, you need an input. Yeah. So, like, let's say I am drinking an energy, and I see those colors, and I remind of Spider-Man. Let's say I remind of Spider-Man. It's just because I had the inputs of these colors that I access and linked with the colors of Spider-Man, and that was the first thing that came in my head.
So he's looking at a Red Bull energy drink right now, guys. So just for context. Yeah.
Yeah. So this memory I needed to access, but what are the other option of memories? And this is what AI kind of does. So you put an input, and it will generate the input based on what you put it. So it's kind of the same, but the AI can't decide to do it without you doing it. It's like I would only react if you say me something to react. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. AI is so we interact with each other, right?
Yeah.
We interact for a world, and AI doesn't. It does something worse and more scary. It interacts with the internet.
Oh yeah.
And
That can be a problem. Yeah, that can be a problem.
It's like Ultron. We were talking about Marvel earlier. That
Marvel
was
all over again. Yeah, Age of Ultron. Yeah.
right. That's what Ultron started to do. It. He like 1 second he entered the internet, and the next one he wanted to exterminate the whole human race.
I think the most important that they need to do is to keep the system separately. We all think that for us, like as you said, the Apple's ecosystem is really good because it works together.
Yeah.
But let's say something get hacked in Apple, it will affect only the system of Apple. It won't affect all the systems. So this is the same with AI. If we create AIs, we don't want to create an AI that can do all things. We need to create AIs that do small things here and a lot of small things here, and they can't interact with each other, because if they can, that will be a problem. But I think to fix this is to make an AI in another language of computer that can't interact with each other. So there are a couple of I would say like C++, like couple of languages in the computer system that you make that works only with the system.
Yeah.
So I think this is the key, to just create AIs with different systems and systems that they can't interfere with each other, because it won't work.
Elon Musk's plan for the Tesla cars into the future is to all be talking with each other. So let's say you have a road where 20 Tesla cars are driving, and they're all close in the proximity to each other. They all in like his ideal scenario in the future, their plan, as far as I understand, is to have all of those cars communicating with each other, so they know at which speed each one of them are driving, when they are planning to turning to different lanes. So I don't think that's the future that we're, the one that you're describing, I don't think that's the future that we're going towards. The future that we're going towards is one where all of those machines, all of those things are more connected with each other. If you look at your house today, you have the smart lamps, which is connected with your phone, which is connected with your Apple ID, which is connected with your email, which happens to be connected to your credit card and your address. You know, everything is more and more and more connected. I don't see things getting more and more divided.
Well, but I think you are right, but I think that is just a matter of point of view. It's like you see this iPhone, yes,
Yeah.
and you see this as just one thing. No, it's not one thing. It's one thing that is made with different things, like the camera, like the lightning. But you can't say that the lightning can interfere with the camera. There are different kind of things, and it's the same with the AI. I think there are things that they can just like debug. Yes, the lights,
The light bulb,
the light bulb,
smart light lamp. Yeah.
yeah. Not even yeah. You can say smart, but it can generate light, but it can't interfere with anything else because they are not commands and they are not programs and system that allows them to do that. And for us, it looks like, oh, it's just a light bulb. Oh, maybe the light bulb can connect to another system of my house. Like, let's say it can turn off my computer because it's based on electricity and connects to the Wi-Fi. But the light bulb don't has a lot of programming skills to access a computer only because it's on the Wi-Fi. So it's a limit that we have on our system, and they can't interfere with each other if we don't make them to interfere. So I don't know, man. I am positive actually about AI, and I don't think that it's gonna happen like a really crazy thing, that the AI is gonna divide us or lie to us. I don't see that going through, because there are people making the AI softwares. The AI are not doing all alone. They are being guided by people and being watched by people. They are not gonna let just the AI do everything. They are gonna teach the AI and they're gonna control the AI.
That's also not very reassuring, because people are flawed. People have their own self-interest, their own agendas as well. For example, I'm gonna give an example. Okay, maybe I cannot give this one. Let me think about another example. Okay, let's take Twitter, for example. I think Twitter is a good example. Twitter was claiming to be a very neutral platform, but it wasn't. Everyone inside of Twitter before Elon Musk acquisition had their own agenda. You know what I'm talking about. The
own agenda of Twitter?
Yeah. They have their own political agendas. Oh, Trump cannot be here. Trump needs to be, removed. And it's like, it's not. But then he would be accepted in other platforms. So all of those different platforms, AI companies, like every company, are, as you mentioned, led by humans. Yep. But humans, they have their own agendas. Like Disney. Yep. Take all the new recent Disney movies. They all have agendas behind them. For example, another example, I think that's another good example, the new Snow White movie. Do you know what's going on with the new Snow White movie?
I heard about a little.
You heard about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just recapping for the listeners. Apparently, Disney canceled or put on hold the development of the new Snow White movie, like the live action adaptation of the classic. And that's because of the backlash they received just by leaked images of the movie, the production. One of those leaked images was the 7 dwarfs, which by the way are not dwarfs, because that's is offensive towards dwarfs. So they're not called dwarfs, they're called 7 magical creatures. And of course they're all from different ethnicities, from different backgrounds. Some of them are black, some of them are I don't know, like you can see that they're from different like Mexicans. One of them are taller than the others. You have like the woman. It's very, 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 let's say, wide. I don't know how to say, broad, like very rich background. So they're not dwarfs. They're 7 magical creatures. Snow White is not white. She's from Colombia. If I'm not mistaken, the actress is from Colombia. So one can argue that it's just a new iteration of the movie reflecting the society that we live on right nowadays. Okay, I can buy that. Okay, we live in a more open society where we embrace different cultures and different backgrounds. I agree with that. Yes, we need to be accepting and loving towards all different people and where they come from. Okay, I agree with that. The problem is when they have an agenda and they want to force this into us. How this benefits the story. and I don't know. Maybe it doesn't even need to benefit the story, but it just feels. It's a feeling. It just feels forced. It's just a feeling, and it just feels weird because you see that they're trying to push something. That's my opinion. There's a lot of amazing movies, live action. No, I don't know.
What if you're just good getting old and we can't accept the new changes?
Maybe.
I think this can be a problem in each generation. It's like my parents would say that the new people are living wrong, or it's really weird how they are living.
It's wrong. It just feels forced.
It can be feel forced, but it's just sometimes can work, and they are gonna try to do it. So I think the problem is not really can be the agenda as you said it, but I think it's also about the writers. You need to know from who came that idea and how old is that person and what did that person lived in their life to make that kind of story. The story that they make is based in their experience, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think that maybe it's more about the background of the people that are making the movie. You understand?
Yeah.
So maybe the creators of the movie had a lot of friends that had different backgrounds, and then they are like, okay, I had this kind of experience of life. I want to express this.
That's cool. I understand that, and I value that. But why we as a society, I'm not we as a society, but why Disney is afraid of using the word dwarf? Why are they afraid of hiring dwarves? In my opinion, that's the perfect opportunity to celebrate dwarf actors. Don't you agree with that?
Oh yeah, it can be offensive for dwarfs actually.
Do you think?
Yeah. People with dwarfisms can be offended because they are changing them to like monsters.
They're not monsters. Have you seen Snow White, man? They're
No,
not monsters.
well, I didn't see everything of the Snow White.
No, but I mean the original movie.
Yeah, the original movie
They're
itself.
not monsters.
No, but I mean the adaptation, the new adaptation. They are monster creatures, you said, right?
They're not. No, I didn't say. I just say they are
Magical.
all from. So the official name is magical creatures.
Magical creatures.
But they're not creatures. They're just humans with different backgrounds. There's like.
Oh, okay. Now I understand.
They're not. They're. I don't know. Maybe.
But why do they call monster magical creatures?
Because they are afraid of using the word dwarfs.
Only because of that.
Because they believe is offensive towards people with dwarfism.
Now I
Which I think it's insane. We as society, not we as society, companies such as Disney are actively trying to, I don't know, change how we perceive the world. Like, what is offensive, what is not, which is I think it comes down to this famous question: what is a woman? Like this whole discussion.
No, I don't know. What is a woman?
There's a famous movie online called, I think I'm not mistaken, What is a Woman? Because there's a lot of trans people. You know what? I won't get into this.
What else? Better not.
Better not. The thing is, I respect everyone. I just think some actions are a little bit too aggressive towards,
I think it's not about aggression. I think it's more about, as you said, it just feels like they are trying to pull too hard on it, to push a lot. I think that's the problem. Is push a lot with it.
It's the respect. I think the most important is to have respect. Would you agree with that?
No, of course. No, because I think, as you said, this feels like it's pushing. It's like the movie of Infinity War. It was Endgame. The part that all the women get together to fight.
Exactly.
Right. It was fun. It's really nice, and I really like it. But the moment it was really weird because the whole movie, it wasn't expressed like in this meaning, and then out of the nothing they just kept going for too long.
Yeah.
I think what would be really nice to do it in that scene is that they would change between only the women and then the guys and then the women and then the guys. Would be more fun than just throw only the girls there and done. You know, it
Yeah.
just felt like a little bit forced
Force, yeah.
for a small fraction of the movie. They could like split all the film together to have the same effect, right?
Exactly. Felt like a forced
Yes.
afterthought,
Yes.
and after because they wanted to please a certain demographic,
Yeah.
because they needed money.
Yeah.
They wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. It's like they need to please a certain demographic because how aggressive this demographic can be. They're not always like that, but it can be.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I have a problem with, the aggressivity, not the message,
Yeah.
not where they're fighting for. I don't have any problem with that, but how aggressive they
Yeah.
can be. At the end of the day, I think everyone deserves respect.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves to be listened to. But yeah, that's how where I stand.
Yeah, but
yeah.
for us it's a little bit difficult because
Yeah.
yeah. Look, I also don't have any problem. But as you said, it's just like force. It's the same with the AI. It's like they are trying to poke too hard on it. You know, and that can work in couple of movies, but they have also to just back a little bit and listen to what really people want, because we are based on feedback.
Yeah.
And as you said, now they are canceling, right? Because of the feedback, or the Snow White movie
Or I think it's on hold.
on hold. But this is because of the feedback.
The negative backlash from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
leaked information.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So they need to listen the feedback more, and not about everyone that likes the Disney movies. And I think that's the most important. And sometimes they just take the risk, think that it can please, and then you have like this kind of feedbacks that they just cancel or putting on hold. But the most important is the people are the most important. So every kind of people, and they need to listen the background of everyone. Everyone have different backgrounds and different opinions, but they need to listen because
That's the thing, G. When you're creating like a huge movie, a huge IP, and a huge game, you cannot possibly please everyone.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
cannot, yeah,
You need
it's
to have
impossible.
a target audience.
But what would you say that is the target audience of Disney right now?
Kids.
At this
It has always
moment?
been kids. You know, always be. I mean, it depends on the IP, right? Because now they own several IPs.
But even the real life action movie, would you say that is the same level of the Snow White of the 90s?
The original one.
The original ones?
Yeah, it's from the 20s, man. I think the original was Snow White's from the 20s.
Yeah. I saw it with colors because
Yeah.
before it was without the colors, right?
Yeah.
It was without the colors, and then they created like a remastered version with colors.
What, Snow White?
I think so.
No, the
No?
original Snow White movie had already colors.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
But it was another kind of style, right? Of another kind of colors. So what we saw as kids, that one was the original?
I only saw one Snow White as a kid, and was the movie from Disney with colors. It's like a cartoon,
But the movie was released in the 20s.
if not mistaken.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really
So
old.
we saw a movie that it was released on the 20s?
I think so.
And I thought that this was a new thing back then. Can be.
I'm sorry, 38. So it's not from the 20s, it's from the 30s. Snow White was released on November 11, 1938.
Yeah, but how many versions of that movie they have?
So it's a fairy tale. Originally it's a fairy tale from the. Don't quote me on that, guys. From the Brothers Grimm, from Germany. It's like originally fairy. So Disney at the time, they were just adapting fairy tales into movies.
Yeah, but they keep just only the one version, only the original version. Don't they have like a version that is like a remastered version of it, that they repaired kind of things? Because I don't know, man. It doesn't felt like it was a movie make of the 20. The technology of the colors, I don't know. It felt like a remaster, but I don't know.
It's magic.
Because I always watch Disney movies, of course, but I would never think about it when it was released. But if it was released in 38,
38, yeah.
So really watch like a really really old
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this the oldest Disney? Do you don't know?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it had some kind of magic to it, and that's I think what's missing nowadays.
Oh, the musics of Disney were great.
Musics,
Oh,
everything.
yeah, it were great. The music back then it was great. I don't know now because I don't really watch live action movies of Disney
Yeah, they're all shit.
anymore. It's not because they are all shit, but I don't know. I just the live action. I think that is a different experience. Yeah, I think that the live action are for maybe a new generation of kind of people. Maybe people change. People like maybe more variety than back then. Than now, I would say. It's like Disney back then. Let's say an international person in the old Disney movies, like the Snow White. What are the backgrounds of the main characters?
So that's the thing. I don't think they were focusing on that. They were focusing on the story. It was about telling a good story for kids. There was no political agenda, the way I understand it.
I think it's more about the feedback. I think it's because back in the 38, yeah, of even in the 20s, the world wasn't connected at all. It wasn't even internet back then. So the groups were just small. So white people was only with white people. Brazilian people were only with Brazilian people. And that was translated in movies. So I think in Disney movies, back in the 20s or in the 30s, say to me a black person that is main character in the Disney movies. It's not because of racism, it's because the people that are working, making the stories, they don't have experience with, for example, black people.
Yeah.
So how can they create stories if they don't have experience with it? They can't. They just can't. It's like I am making a story of a civilization that doesn't exist on Earth, of that I don't know about. You know, I can never know. So I think that the most thing of Disney is we lived back then. We're not connected at all.
Okay.
There were a few people with television. I would say that a lot of immigrants didn't have the luxury of a lot of other people that were white or with another backgrounds back then. But now the thing is, there are a lot of parents that moved to another countries back in the 20s or in the war, and they had children in those other countries. And it's just a form of not them feeling excluded, because if you are in America as a Brazilian and you only watch American things that they never ever talk about Brazilian, maybe you're gonna feel excluded. And I think that is what Disney is all about. So that's why I think that feedback is important. They need to listen to the people that are watching the movies, because the people that are watching the movie, they are the most important for the company. They are the watchers. They are the people that are giving money out. They are the people that like their stuff, you know. So I think that is the difference nowadays. Now we have a lot of people that are in the 40s, and the parents of the grandparents left the war, so they had to struggle to go to another country. But if you go to another country, you're not just gonna work to another country. You want to live, right? You want to have experience. You want to have experience that you can be attached for, and that you only can do if you're not feeling excluded. So I think that the most thing that happens nowadays with Disney is trying to kind of please everyone. That's a great example is the movie of where it was Neymar. where we talk about the
Black
last movie.
Panther.
The,
Man,
the Black
I love
Panther.
that movie.
No,
So
no,
good.
it was a great movie. It was a
Yeah.
great movie, but the thing is, you need to see, you need to watch the message of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the message of the movie is Namor. What is his background? He is Mexican. What is he having problem with Black Panther's civilization? Yeah, and that's what happened, and that's
That
what
was amazing.
yeah, it was amazing because it shows that you don't have to fight with others. You can have an agreement, and that's what happened at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They had an agreement between Namor, that was another race, another kind, that they feel that excluded of the world. But back in the end of the movie, they got in agreement. So that's the thing. It's what I said. That didn't feel pushed at all.
Exactly.
That was a great movie and a great example how movies of Marvel should be.
Exact. Great storytelling.
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
makes sense. Like the ethnicities make sense.
But that's the thing. But they are trying to guide the public, the people that are, for example, Mexican or Black, that they can live with each other. You know.
Of course.
Yeah. So I think that is what Marvel is doing all the time.
I agree.
And also Disney, of course.
Marvel, Disney, they're all doing. I agree, and I think more power to them. I think that's amazing. I honestly believe in the future we're gonna colonize Mars and the whole Earth. We're gonna be one colony, one tribe. We're gonna be one. Like that's the Earth population. I believe that. I root for that. I want this.
Oh, but it needs to be. Our human mind is.
Yeah.
We are social.
We're social creatures.
And with war and with all those things, we can't connect with other people. How can you connect with someone that you have war with? You cannot be social with
You
that.
can't.
No, humans are social beings.
But we also tribal beings.
True.
That's a problem.
Yeah, but I think maybe it's just a phase. I hope it's just a phase.
I think it is just a phase. Yeah.
Maybe we are just realizing a lot of things, and our body just don't go with it. You know, the evolution is just too slow, and our mind are just too quick. Our memories are, I think, too clear for us.
Too clear? What do you mean?
Well, we have own minds and we have the language. We can see how the world works and make calculation, and with that we can make a better civilization. We can only make a better civilization because of communication, because of social skills, because of trading, because of partnership. Yeah. So I agree. If we go to Mars, for sure, we won't want to do the same mistakes that we make here on Earth.
Yeah. Would you go to Mars? Right now. Elon Musk or whatever, Jeff Bezos, they finished their whole Mars plan. I don't know if Jeff Bezos is trying to go to Mars. Anyhow, everything's ready. They give you a ticket. G, you can go to Mars. We're gonna build a colony there. You're gonna have everything you need. You're gonna have like friends. You're gonna have like a gym. You're gonna have like entertainment. It's gonna be like paradise on Earth, but on Mars. Would you go to Mars?
Will they have BruCast? I only go if they have BruCast.
Of course.
Okay, back to a question. I don't know, man, because the thing to go to Mars is it's gonna be challenging. Yeah.
Mm.
But it's not gonna be challenging like going to find a job. It's gonna be challenge at the point that your life matters. It's just you're just stepping into mine and testing out. So I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't go to Mars?
No, I think it would be too challenging for me just to go to Mars to adapt. It's kind of like the AI, making a program from the AI. It's really complex. You lose a lot of time, but if you take effort and you do it, you can make a lot of things for other people to use it, right?
Yeah.
That's with Stable Diffusion. All those apps that they have is because there are a lot of other people training for years with Stable Diffusion and finally making that appearing in the software. So going to Mars will be kind of the same. They're gonna the first people that are going to Mars, they're not gonna live a good life, let's say, a relaxed life. They are gonna live challenging for in the future that all the people can have a relaxed life.
So the first colonizers, they're gonna go there in order to colonize.
Yeah.
They're gonna prepare the terrain for the newcomers, and but let's say all of the steps done. We went through this already. We have everything.
Then I would go.
Would you go?
Yeah, but not to be one of the first to colonize. That I would only if they have everything ready.
Football matches. We have cinema.
Of course.
We have whatever.
Without any problem of living.
Problem. It's like going to Ibiza.
Yeah, okay, but of course I would. What would be then the problem? Because then it would be any challenge, let's say.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you're still going to another planet, man.
But I don't think we will live
long enough
to see people colonizing.
Colonizing.
Yeah, man. That's every time you ask me that question, I'm like, I don't believe it, and then I think for more couple of seconds, and it's like I don't believe it, but for another I don't know, another perspective, the things go too fast lately, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's more important for now to them to send robots or sonars or anything. But people, it will be a big challenge in oak life of people. They need to change a lot of Mars first, and I think that changing is gonna be remote.
What do you mean?
It's gonna be
remote.
From Earth. Yeah, it's gonna be from Earth. So it's like we already do for like 20 years. We had the Curiosity tour, right? The
rover.
The rover. Yeah. And also it's always remotely. Yeah. And I think that they can make remotely things from here. They need to create prototypes that can fold and can unfold, and they can send there. And I think they have kind of a lot of prototypes with things that they want to send to Mars to terraform, right? To terraform Mars. So before...
No, terraform is the act of making the atmospheres of the planet livable.
Mm-hmm.
So terraforming would be to nuke the polar, I don't know how it's called, polar Arctics or whatever, in order to heat up the planet and make like oxygen and stuff. I don't think terraforming is the correct word. It's like colonizing? I don't know.
Yeah, but I think that they
preparing the colony.
Yeah, preparing the colony, but that's just, you can't live there right now. You need first to change the environment, and that changing of the environment, it takes, I think, 200 of 300 years.
Yes.
So the question is, will they send people before that happen?
Of course. They want to send people in 5-10 years. But they want to send people like right now. Yeah.
How do you know how many times we sent something to Mars?
No idea, but so far just rovers, nothing more.
Because they will only send people if they have a high rate of success. So if they like have 9 of 10 they made it, they can make.
Yeah.
Once doing that, they will try another 10 times. And another 10 times, and another 10 times, until they have a high rate of 10 times, I would say, that only 2 misses, and they need to know what are the problem of that missing thing, or what was the problem. But if they know what the problem, they won't make the mistake anymore. Nowadays, it looks that it's really complicated to send something from Earth to somewhere else, but it isn't, because the system of the solar system is really consistent. So the rotation of every planet is really, really consistent. We can, with just good calculation, be really precisely how we gonna be on Mars. But the second problem is the atmosphere of Mars. Yeah. So if we send something, we need to know how Mars will react, because if we make some things on Earth, we can only try those things with the things that are on Earth. Or the max what you can do is to try to emulate how Mars is. And so that's why I think that's gonna take a long time. They can, I don't know. I think it's more, I don't know, I think it's more like a show, I would say.
Like a show?
Like an impulse to already put ideas in the mind of people that people need to go to Mars. So maybe not for us that we are going to Mars, but maybe it's gonna influence the mind of our children, of their children, that they already have the idea that we can possibly go to Mars. So more people it's going to be interested in, and they can have more jobs of people really wanted to go to Mars. So that's why you asked me if I want to go to Mars. Yeah, today I wouldn't go. Yeah, but if it was already good enough and a good place to go, I would go. So that will be maybe, yeah, in 100 years, 200 years, I would say.
So the prospect of being one of the first colonizers is not exciting enough for you to sacrifice your comfort life on Earth in order to be one of the first human beings on Mars?
Actually, no.
Okay. I mean, of course, that's a good answer. There's no right answer, right?
Right.
That's not a right answer.
I think every person is different. There are people that would like to do it. It's like us doing the parachute. Yeah. We like to do parachute, but I know a lot of people that are like, oh no, are you crazy? Are you going to kill yourself? Not killing yourself. It's just the adrenaline, just because I like it, just because it's something exciting that doesn't happen a lot, and I only see on movies. So I think that Mars can be the same thing. We only see on movie, we only have an idea, so that's why we maybe want to do that. But so extreme I can be, because for one moment I can take it, like jumping from an airplane right now. I can take it. But if it's gonna be like every day, jumping off the airplane, maybe I wouldn't do it. Maybe I would. I don't know. No, it wouldn't be something for me. So going to Mars, to live my whole life there, having the challenges, so it would be like jumping off the parachute every hour.
Every hour, having like intense challenges, life-threatening challenges, every day, every hour. Like, but that's the thing. I don't think you're gonna face life-threatening challenges once you arrive there. It's just the travel. Once you get there, you're just gonna work. If you're one of the colonizers, setting up the camp, making sure the farm works, would you consider like?
I think to send them, that's gonna be the relaxed part. Being there, I think, is gonna be hard.
Okay.
I think is if you look the colonization, would you say that would be colonization?
The TV show, you mean?
No, colonization of Earth, of the Americas. Okay. Yeah. Would you say that colonization are easier to go with the boat from the Europe to the Americas? Or is that easier than colonize the whole place? That takes more than 100 years to take? Going there is easy. No, because when you know how to get there, you have the tools to get there, you will get there. It's only a matter of good calculations. Because otherwise, look, after the Europeans went to Brazil or went to the Americas, the technology what they had, it was the ships. They had big ships that any other colonization back there had. They could travel the whole ocean, and that's what we have with going to Mars. So now we are solving the problem of going to Mars. How is the successful rate? After that is a colonization. period, I would say. And I think that's gonna be more difficult because the same level if we had back then we don't have technology back there to make spacecrafts. We only had ships, right? That was the max technology was the ships. We didn't have satellites, we didn't have any planes, it were the ships. And to go to point A to point B, you need to calculate. But you can't calculate the place that you are there. So people that went to Brazil or to America, they saw not a lot of things that they needed to adapt it. They brought disease to the other people and also the same backwards. And a lot of people died. So if they are going to Mars, I think there will be people that are going to get disease because you can only know if you are there. You can only know how your body will react if you are there. You can't make any simulation of that. Never.
You kind of do, right? You know the gravity, you know the atmosphere, you know the radiation levels, you know...
Yeah,
like,
but in the feeling, how will that impact your feelings, how you perceive the world that you are doing there, and the gravity and all the challenge that will maybe
how
affect
you will react, like you mean how your body will react?
Everything, your body, your mind, your thoughts, you know, because we are now here on Earth where every property like the gravity, like the oxygen, everything goes to our bodies and that influences our brain, which it makes how we think and react to things. So that's what I'm telling, that's gonna be challenging, it's gonna be difficult. The best thing that they can do is to try to make Mars as far as, let's say, most likely possible as Earth to be. You understand? Before they send people there. So that's why I think that the terraformation of Mars is more important to happen first before we send people there. It's gonna be a lot of risk.
But the terraformation would take hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So for hundreds of years...
Yeah, but look out the colonization. Do you think that people that...
Of Earth?
Yeah, in the Earth, in the colonization of the Europeans. Do you think that when the Europeans went to the Americas, they were not trying to colonize? They didn't have a plan to colonize? And how long it would take? It took 200 years to colonize. It happens a lot of suffering with a lot of people that were slaves because they didn't have the technology of the proper weapons or whatever it is, or communication of principles to fight and protect them against the Europeans that had more advanced weapons and more advanced infrastructures. So it's different because back then they didn't have the problem of oxygen. Yeah? If you go to Brazil, you won't suffocate. Yeah. The water is the problem. So that's why the trajectory was the problem back then. To go to Mars is not the trajectory that's the problem. It's being there and how we will react to be there. That's going to be the problem. A lot of people that sent other peoples to Brazil or to Americas, they could get disease from the indigenous people just because they wanted or needed to colonize. So I think that's going to be the same with Mars. And Mars much worse because the oxygen there is fucked up. The pressure is fucked up. Yeah. You won't feel, I think you won't feel even human being there because all your perspective of gravity and of motion and of talking, of communication will affect you in every single way and you can't escape it. You can't just cancel, I want to go back to Earth.
Yeah. So maybe a smart way of doing it would be to have missions. So they send an astronaut to spend like a maybe 10 years missions in Mars, and then they send him back. And they do batches of astronauts. Maybe 30 astronauts go this year, another 30 astronauts go next year, another 30 astronauts go next year, and all of them just stays for a certain amount of time, and then they come back. Because once a rocket goes there, it needs to come back. And when it comes back, it can bring the astronauts that are still there for a longer period of time. And this way, they are always recycling, and their mental health is always, I will not say perfect, but they always come back to Earth when their mission is done, which means that if, let's say, they never adapted to the planet, they can recover on planet Earth. Maybe that's a good plan, right? What do you think about it?
Well, it can be, but with the technology we have today, with the propulsion, with the how the speed of our rockets, now it takes 4 years to go to Mars.
No.
Yes, it takes 4 years. It takes
it's 5 months, right?
No, it's
no.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
Keep talking.
Yeah, I think it's 4 years. It's I think there's a period where you can send. I think it's 4 years, right?
7 months.
7 months.
7 months.
Oh wait, I know what it is. The shortest point that you can take only happens in every 4 years. Yeah. So if you have, like, now it's 2020.
7 to 9 months.
7 to 9 months. Yeah, but look. The shortest that Mars is from Earth only happens every 4 years. It's
a window.
Yeah. So every 4 years, the Mars and Earth is getting close, and they get in a point that they are really, really close.
Yeah.
That happens once in every 4 years, and after that, they are going to be even further to go there.
Yeah.
And that's really a problem for fuel. So they will only send things every 4 years, and it takes half year to get there.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Or they will expend more money to make more fuel, but what they don't want to do is fuel. The less fuel that they need to give to the propulsion, better.
Because it's heavy, right? The fuel is money.
The whole thing is heavy. The fuel, they use it mostly to direct, so right, left, just a little bit, because you go in the space. In the space, you don't have any gravity that is pulling you or stopping you. So if you throw like a dart in space like this, it will go until there's interference between another star or another planet that will pull the dart to the place.
Yeah.
Yes. So the propulsion, the fuels are only to direct a little bit. So if the ship is out of course, they will make the fuel. They use the fuel to go to the right or go to the left.
Yeah.
To go to the destination. And that's the problem with the technology right now. So we will only send people and only send things every 4 years because of the distance. It's going to be the distance that's the closest that they can be.
It sounds challenging. It is challenging for sure. But
yeah, but the time that you said that every time they will send people back, how will they do that before the 4 years gap that you need to the plans to be really close together?
So every okay. Now that we have this new info, now we have some updated info, right, on how things work. Let's recap. Let's rework the plan. Maybe every 4 years.
We are not even scientists, but we are letting make all the calculations. Keep going. It's fun, of course.
Every 4 years, there are 2 rockets, one coming from Earth and another one coming from Mars at the same time. That makes sense, right?
Could it be? But even though the people that they sent, they're gonna spend 8 years only. No, they expend
4 years.
No. To go there, you said it takes 9 months, right?
7 to 9 months.
So almost 2 years only traveling, going there and going back.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but there's no way around it. It's just how things.
Well, I think how it can work, but I think they need to sleep. sleep for the most period of the health year.
Right.
Because that can have a big impact in the mind of people that are not even there yet. They are in space, and it takes 9 months in a closed space environment, and that is also challenging. The best is to make everyone sleep. Yeah, so they wake up only when they are at the destination.
Well, what do we want to put everyone in coma?
Yeah, because people
we don't have this technology, like this cryo technology that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't think this exists. I think it's like this is a sci-fi thing.
For sure, it's a sci-fi thing for now. But I think that there's an advance that would help a lot in that kind of.
I think you're going in the wrong direction. I don't think that cryo sleep is the direction that we want to go. I think what we need to do is find a way to build faster ships, faster, more reliable, interdimensional spaceships, like the ones from UFOs, you know, the ones that Dave Gresh told us about.
Well, but what is easier, to construct something like this or to make people sleep?
I think, no, hot take, my hot take is that things like this, I mean spacecrafts that can travel through space and time in a blink of an eye, I think they already exist.
Yeah, but that blink of an eye can be also a perspective, right?
Perspective? What do you mean?
If you sleep the whole night, you experience like that the time just flew, right? Because you don't have any experience at all. So if you sleep and wake up, it doesn't feel like it's 8 hours.
That's not true. That's not true.
No? Won't you agree?
No.
So when you sleep, it really feels like you slept for 8 hours. If you wake up, can you tell how many hours you were sleeping? If you can do that, bro, go to Ellen's show, because that's the first time. You are sleeping. You are not conscious of the time flow.
What I mean is sleeping does not equals skipping time. When you're sleeping, your brain is still working. It's doing a lot of processes. It's dreaming, and it's doing stuff that it needs to do in order for you to function when you wake up. So you're not skipping time.
Well, it's kind.
Your brain and like it's doing stuff, and you're actually like I recently read, like not completely, this book from Freud recently. Just I think just half of it. I think it's called something like The Interpretation of Dreams by Sigmund Freud.
I think you told me a little bit about it. Yeah.
And it's a very, very, very interesting book, because most people, they just don't even remember the dreams that they had. They kind of don't care. It's just nightmares, just dream. No, not at all. Dreams are 100% a reflection of your inner conscious or of your unconscious. Dreams are a way of your unconscious to talk to you. All dreams, they always have a message, and it's about things that are going in your life, how things could be better, what things should change. It's your brain processing and helping you with your life. But most people don't see that way, even though has been kind of proven by Sigmund Freud. So that's the thing, kind of proven, because when you talk about psychotherapy, therapy in general, it's a field in development. The brain has not been completely mapped. There's a lot of unknowns, but that's the thing. There's a lot of knowns, and dreams is one of those territories that have been already studied, not completely, but in depth, not only by Freud, but by a lot of people. Dreams are they are always a reflection of your biggest fears, your biggest desires, and if you know and understand how to interpret them, analyze them, you can get a lot of meaning and answers from them. Like, oh, so that's why I feel anxious all the time. Oh, maybe the way I talked with my mom 3 years ago is the reason why I'm having nightmares, and I actually need to say sorry for it. And then after you say sorry to her, like, you never have this nightmare again. You stop waking up in the middle of the night sweating. So my point is, we're talking about cryo sleep. I don't know how this affects your dreams, how it affects your body. I don't know how this works when you go into coma. But my point is, it's not like you're just skipping time, because something is happening.
Yeah, something is happening because you are still conscious, right?
Yeah.
You're not dead. When you are dead, then you don't have the perceive of anything. So time is gone, everything is gone.
Exactly. That's what I mean. There's a
Right.
difference.
There's a big difference, of course. So there is, of course, your brain will perceive, because you get old. The time will. It's not that will stop everything of your body. Your heart still needs to work. You still need to eat. So that's the biggest problem with traveling to there. And with dreams, yeah, I don't know if they put them in a coma, it will be also challenging, because if you see the people that went to coma and they came back to coma, they can have brain problems because of being so long sleeping or without moving. So that's a lot of another problem is, if they send them people there, they are just sleeping all the time, and they will wake up, they won't use the legs, because the legs won't work. They are just months without using the
What
legs.
about your muscles?
Yeah, that's another problem. Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I'm saying, wouldn't it be easier to just have a spaceship that travels faster than we can possibly imagine?
Yeah, it can be. But it's difficult to imagine, man. We are limited in our technology, and I think that spacecraft is the ultimate challenging. Is the most challenging thing that a human being can do nowadays.
Spacecraft, any kind of spacecraft.
Space travel.
Space travel.
Yeah. It's a different environment. It's different gravity and everything. So yeah, we need to find an option that will not maybe not take people to sleep, but of course a shortcut. But the problem is the propulsion. We have a limit of propulsion, we have a limit of energy, we have a limit of fuel, and we can only pass that if we advance in technology. But the problem is, we didn't have advanced a lot with the speed of the crafts. What we advanced a lot is with the patching of crafts and the crafts going back to their station. What Elon Musk does, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you want to send people to Mars and they need to go back to Mars, they need to have first an installation on Mars to send them back to Earth. Yes?
Yeah.
And that installation needs to be fitted with all the physics of Mars and not from Earth. They need to change the concept of physics. They need to apply the physics to Mars, not to Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So the second problem is, if they're gonna send people and then send the people back, they need first to create a station there that can properly and precisely send people back to Earth.
So I think that's what we're gonna see in our lifetime.
I think, but yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know why? Because of Earth. Earth is it's the point reference of going to Mars. Because if they have calculation that the gravity of Earth is 0 point blah 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 and gravity of Mars is 0 point blah blah blah, yes, they only need to convert. So if they need like a kind of weight to pull a ship from here to there on Earth, they need that kind of amount of energy and that kind of propulsion, and on Mars they only need to convert it. So if Mars, the gravity is less, they only do the calculation less. So all the things that we are testing here on Earth is just to convert and maybe do something there.
Did you see this? Did you saw this? It's been a while. I think it's a long time ago, 90s. I don't remember when this happened, but one ship, like this really happened. Like one ship completely exploded. The whole mission went into shit because I think there was a collaboration between NASA scientists with the European Space Agency. They're trying to send like some kind of rover. I don't know the details, but the thing is, the scientists from the European Space Agency were using the metric system, and the one from NASA was using the whatever system they use in the US. Like it's completely different from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And the calculations didn't match up, and the whole thing exploded. I'm sure you guys will correct me in the commentaries. I don't know all the details, but it was something like that.
But were people inside?
I don't know. I just know that the whole mission failed because of the different metric systems.
Only because of the bad calculations between the metric systems.
No, the calculations were good, but they were using different metric systems.
Yeah, but that interferes in the calculation. So it's the calculation that is wrong. They didn't convert properly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we need to make a space that's 5 centimeters. Okay, and then the guy uses 5 inches. Oh, there's a lot of difference between 5 inches and 5 centimeters.
Such a great country in many ways, but why they use the whatever they use? Like I saw this news, like there's a 5 kilometers meteorite coming towards Earth. Like that was the news. In the US, they changes, like it's a 700,000 wirelesses diameter. They always come up with like random measurements, like 500 school buses meteorite. Why don't you just use the metric system?
Yeah, but I think it's more like a language. I think the metric system is like a language. So it's like you're going.
It's also the miles. Why they have miles? Like the only I'm ranting a little bit.
No, I think it's a kind of language. They're just using English as language, but adding another kind of language that only they can understand a little bit. And I think, but that's it. It's just language. It's just manner of language. The only thing is, with numbers, it's easier to make like a language. Yeah? It's universal. So 1 + 1 is 2. Yeah. So that's why I think it's really hard to adapt, because they speak the same language. They have like kind of the same idea of the same purpose, like job finding, like living, like marrying. We have those principles right in our life, and the only thing that they don't have is the metric system. So I think that is why I think that's more weird about it, because we can associate with a lot of good things and a lot of things that we like, but then it's just that one thing that is clear to all the rest of the people, but to them it's just different. I think that's why we get a lot of irritation from.
It's
right?
fun.
It's fun, of course.
It's fun. You know, one of my dreams, I have this dream, is to rent not a minivan, like a real Wohnwagen. That's how we call it in German, if I'm not mistaken. Wohnmobil. It's like a, how do you say that? Like the wagon from Walter White, where you can live inside.
UAV.
UAV. So my rent is my dream is to rent an UAV, take vacations for 1 month, and just drive across the whole country, like the US, eating all the junk food, all the waffles, the burgers, just really get fat and unhealthy, but also see the national parks, Texas, New Orleans. Like today we're watching this incredible video of this guy. Do you remember the YouTuber who compares Red Dead Redemption 2 of your real life? Do you remember his name? What was his name, the YouTuber?
I can remember, man. I can remember because I don't follow him.
Okay. It's a very good video, guys. Just look for it. It's like he was comparing several famous video games locations, like Red Redemption 2, The Last of Us, with comparing with the real life locations, and it's one more beautiful than the other.
Oh yeah, and they make like side by side, right?
Yeah.
And that's what make exciting about it. And yeah, it's really really great. But it's all about photography, right? They make a lot of pictures, a lot of pictures of the places, and they try to do that as reference in the game. But it's really crazy. And the thing is, even Grand Theft Auto or the Red Dead Redemption, that they don't use the original name like New Orleans or Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They copy like really perfect the buildings. And also, and of course, with The Last of Us, we expect to be really, really the same, right? Because even the name is the same city in the series. But even though Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption, even they don't use the original name of the cities, they replicate the city really, really well. But they use as reference, right? It's all about reference.
Yeah.
I think on Grand Theft Auto 4, they use the reference of New York, but when they start doing the project, 9/11 didn't exist yet.
Which game?
Grand Theft Auto 4. It was in 2008 when they started the project.
9/11 happened in 2001, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But the Rockstars in the Rockstar game, they takes I think 6 or 8 years to develop a game. Yeah, so the city of Grand Theft Auto, all the missions and all the craft need to be associated with the map and with the perspective.
Yeah.
So they had in Grand Theft Auto not 4, 3, Liberty City. That one. They don't have the towers there, but needed to be implemented. Don't you know Grand Theft Auto 3 is the old one? It's not the 4. The
Yeah,
new
I know.
4.
It's not very famous one because I think it was
before the Vice City.
But at the time it wasn't very known. GTA was not a thing. I think it became like a huge thing with Vice City, right? Would you say? I don't know.
No, I think it was 3 because in Grand Theft Auto 3 it was the first game 3D that was open map, open world.
Okay.
Yes, and it started there. And of course the second version of Grand Theft Auto 3, so Grand Theft Auto Vice City, this one it was huge because this one was for the PlayStation 3, I think, of PlayStation 2, and were really, really complex. But if you search for Grand Theft Auto 3 Liberty City, it's the first Rockstar game, I think, open source. And after that they made Red Dead Redemption and also other games.
So accordingly to Gameopedia, Grand Theft Auto 3 from 2001 was the first in the series to implement 3D graphics, and took this one step further by creating one of the first realistic and explorable open world centered around non-linear gameplay.
Yeah.
GTA 3 offered an incredible variety in how you interacted with the world. You could shoot, drive, run, jump, and punch people. Who would react to you, talk to you, even chase you, or run away from you. Alright, so that was in 2001.
Yes.
That's crazy to think how this was.
Yeah, and they started putting the Twin Towers in the game, but they cancelled because of the events of 2000.
Of course.
So you won't see any 9/11 buildings. So as I said, they use as reference, right? So Liberty City would be New York, but they won't say it's this street, or they won't say is this neighborhood. It's like in the Grand Theft Auto you have Vinewood, right? And it's actually Hollywood, but they changed. So it's like the same, I would say. Just the name is, but the idea is the same.
Yeah. G, believe it or not, we've been talking for more than 3 years.
3 years. Is a new record.
3 hours. It's been a pleasure. Is there any final remarks, any final words, advices, anything else that you'd like to bring it forward to our audience?
Oh yeah. As an AI making AIs, I think people need that have interest in AI to create their own stuff, try to use stable diffusion, even as for fun, because you can have the control of the AI. And one thing that I see a lot of people doing is with these skills making apps and selling those apps for a good price. And if you are a developer that makes AI and you know how to do it and how to make everything stable, you can create your own version of course, there will be challenges with copyright that is going to be a problem. But if you have an artist that makes his own art, yes, and he makes a model with his own art with AI, I think this is the key. So if you have like an artist, a real artist, yeah, a real painting artist, what you can do is draw everything that you can on Photoshop, and you can train your art. Because when you want to make your own art, you only need to prompt, and it will use your art, not from other people, not deepfake. It will use what you put it there. But don't build things of other people. If you are creative, create your own thing and train that thing on the AI, so you can make all the arts that you would take like 3 hours to make. Your own art, you can do it just giving a prompt. So I think that a lot of artists with AI, they also need to be a little bit of artistic themselves. You know, is, as I said, it's not the AI that does stuff, it's the artist behind the AI that it is in control. Yeah. So I think that for everyone that is better than me working with AI, that can do a lot of crazy stuff with AI, and is also a good artist or has interest in making your own art, I think this is a good option. Yeah. So use the AI to make original content, because it can be really fast to make it. Yeah.
All right. All right. That's amazing. Thank you very much for being here. I really appreciated your support.
Thank you for you to be in the Netherlands.
Of course, our extreme plans, man, like traveling and jumping out of airplanes and stuff.
Of course.
All right.
It was a great pleasure, man. Always.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for listening. It has been amazing, like this journey so far. 15 episodes. That's incredible. Be kind in the comments. We're all learning, making mistakes along the way, and trying to be better. Much love to everyone. Make sure to subscribe to iDevice News. We're gonna leave the link in the description below. Any other links that you'd like to leave in the description
TheGXO, my own music, then social media, Instagram, TheGXO. We're gonna be in the links, right?
It's gonna be everything on the description.
All right. Yeah, and my SoundCloud maybe from
your SoundCloud, yeah. Okay.
He will put everything.
I will put everything. But make sure to click subscribe to BruCast. Again, it's through your support by subscribing that the channel grows. Make sure to like the video. Around 60% of you are not subscribed, so I'm looking at you. Make sure to subscribe, like the podcast if you're on Spotify, because this really helps. Again, we have the BruCast store with the BruCast merch. Buy all the merch, show your love and support to the show. bru-cast.com/store. We have tons of awesome goodies, from t-shirts to mugs, everything that you need to treat yourself or a friend, anyone who enjoys the show or a fan of the show. We have brand new t-shirts designs. Check it out. And you have a promo code, BRU10SAVE. I repeat, BRU10SAVE. You can use this promo code for 10% discount, so check it out. Make sure to check also Brew Shorts on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and X. We're putting a lot of love and effort into those daily shorts. Again, the feedback has been amazing. Check it out. It's the best way to consume the highlights of each episode in a shorter format. I know that you guys love it, so subscribe to Brew Shorts as well. Thank you very much, guys. It has been a pleasure, and see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye bye. Love you all.